Ladies and gentlemen, how are we doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Casually FC channel. Welcome to the Casually reaction, I guess we'll call it that. I didn't mean to, but yeah, welcome to our reaction to the Legia Warszawa 0, Chelsea 3 match review. I'm accompanied by the starting panel of Real Chris, Oliver Twist, Scott, and the Bridge Nation, myself, Marshall DVDX, here to discuss the game for you guys tonight. So plenty to discuss. I think today was a good performance and a good win, considering, you know, we did struggle quite a bit against Copenhagen in the previous encounter in this tournament. It's nice to see the team actually have a good second half performance. We'll definitely talk about the first half performance as well. But before we continue, ladies and gents, as always, be sure to smash up the like button on your way in. It helps us out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, which we're trying to fight against because, hey, man, things have been a little stagnant lately. Ladies and gents, I'll tell you that. So help us out, smash up the like. It's easy, it's simple, it's a click of a button away, and it's free. Go ahead also and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, if you're returning. Obviously, if you're returning, you enjoy the content, you enjoyed the discussion, and maybe you enjoy the debate that we have from time to time in the chat. So big up to every single one of you who just joined in today, and subscribe. Help us out. Help us reach that 5K milestone that we're trying to hit. So yeah, ladies and gents, plenty to talk about. Links in the description to a lot of content, including the Bridge Nation, Real Chris, and all of us here on the panel, and memberships. 4 different tiers starting at 99p for you guys to enjoy some member perks, as well as helping out the channel tremendously in that sense. We do have some new members I'll shout out at the end of the show that were joined during the offline session, which if you are watching this offline when we're not live, be sure to smash up the like and all that fun stuff, but also leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed. All right, before we get into the panel discussion, let's go into our traditional quick summary of today's match. So a very, 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 very dominant display overall in terms of possession. Yeah, everyone's favorite word. Yeah, from Chelsea. Legia Warsaw didn't really have much opportunities to attack the Chelsea goal. I think maybe Jurgensen had to do 1 or 2 saves. I know there was 1 save towards the end of the match that he did. So good for him to stay on his toes despite, 1 shot on target all game, and that was the last shot of the match. 73 possession for Chelsea for the entirety of the match with 24 shots, 10 of them on target as well. And yeah, first half, we dominated possession. We had some opportunities here and there. One that came from a Nkunku cross. I forgot who it landed in front of, but nothing unfortunately came of it. I think it was a blocked shot. Then we had another clear-cut chance, probably the biggest chance of that half from a Keenan Drewsbury Hall, which I think we're gonna have some glowing reviews on KDH today. He had probably his best performance at Chelsea, and it was impressive to see. But yeah, he had a finesse shot that went just a little wide and over the bar in that first half. You know, you look at the lineup too. We had Tariq George and Achimpong starting, which was good to see. That we gave trust in some of the youth to get us to in this match, and it paid off tremendously. Badeshile made his return to the lineup as well. Amala Gusto that played left back, and Reece James that was in midfield, and Nkunku who started because Guiu is still not ready to be in the match day squad. We go into the second half. Some changes were made. I believe Madueke came on for Palmer, who came off. I think the Palmer substitution, it seemed to me it was planned just to conserve the legs for the next match against Ipswich on Sunday. Same thing for Tosin Adarabioyo. I'm sure he is being conserved as well for the next match against Ipswich on Sunday as well. Levi Cole comes in for him. Nani Madueke comes in for Palmer. And it didn't take very long. Didn't take very long at all. And it starts with a Reece James shot from outside the box, rebounds in front of a Tariq George coming from an onside position and tucks it away. Good reaction. I would argue Nkunku should have been there, but we'll discuss Nkunku. Probably the worst player on that pitch today. But yeah, Tariq George is there to react to the rebound and scores his first Chelsea goal. So big up to Tariq George for that one. We'll do a little round of applause for Tariq George. Happy for him. You could tell it meant a lot to him. Then continuing on in the match on the 57th minute, Jadon Sancho and Nkunku then, not Nkunku, I'm sorry, Jadon Sancho and Nani Madueke then began to steal the show. And Jadon Sancho with a cross to Nani on the far post. Nani is there to put it away. And we are up 2-0. And it wasn't very long before pretty much an identical goal happened 10 minutes, 15 minutes later in the 74th minute, where once again Sancho finds Nani on the far post. Or actually, no. Yeah, he does, because Nkunku missed a penalty. So Nkunku misses a penalty, gets saved by the keeper. I was already calling it before he was kicking it. You're probably going to miss this penalty, aren't you? You're probably going to miss this penalty. And he missed the penalty, or he got saved, I'll say. And in the same play, Jadon crosses it across the box and finds Nani, who puts it away in the right position in the right time. And we then are ahead 3-0 by the 74th minute. Gives us a chance to rest some key players. You saw Malagusto come off. You saw Tariq George come off. Shimeheka came on. Almugu played 15 minutes as well. It was nice to see him play. And yeah, Chelsea cruised their way, in the away fixture of Legia Warszawa in Poland with a 3-0, coming to Stamford Bridge now with a 3-0 aggregate. And this is good because it gives Chelsea, hopefully gives Chelsea a chance to rest some key players next week, so that we can prioritize the Premier League and making and solidifying top 4 finish. And yeah, man, I was pretty happy with the second half performance. Obviously, the first half, we'll discuss that more thoroughly. But we'll start with Ahmed, my man. What do you think of today's performance? Dead? Okay, cool. Ahmed's preoccupied at the moment. So we'll go with Oliver. Right. What are your thoughts on today's performance?
I think it really was just a game of two halves, to be honest. I mean, that first half was just pretty
Did he lag or was that me?
This stream is going so well.
Yeah, it's going well.
Chelsea have been recently, it's been pretty slow. Pretty drab.
You go, man.
It's going well.
All right, I'm gonna go with Scott because Oliver, your signal's a little jammy. I don't know if you're noticing. Scott, your thoughts on the game?
Cool. I echo what Oliver said, like to begin with, before his internet died. It really was a game of two halves. I mean, that first half was like more of the same. It was just Copenhagen all over again, like just boring, slow, not really doing much. I thought there was a couple good performances. It's kind of the same as what we've been used to. It was like mostly an all-right performance from some players, but in terms of the way we play, it wasn't good. And there was like three players that were just the usual three players, might I add, that were shockingly bad and letting the side down.
Yeah.
One of them decided to pick it up in the second half. The other two decided, no, we're going to just get deck chairs out and continue to be shit. But I think we won 3-0 and it was good in the second half, so I kind of don't want to focus on those idiots for now.
Sure.
The second half was way better. And like I said, like the players that were decent stepped up and were good. One of the players that was shit in the first half was terrible. Picked up massively in the second half, was a lot better. I thought there were a couple of players that really stood out. Like NONI, when he came on, was really brought like a breath of fresh air. Thought Tyreek George was excellent. KDH, another very good performance. Like, can't really complain outside of the two chances he missed, which he's just got to be scoring both of those, at least one, but really both of those. Another excellent performance by Reece James as well. Achimpong, again, another great performance. Defense didn't really have much to do, to be honest. Like, Legia Warszawa didn't really touch us. Like, didn't really get near us. And yeah, in that second half is the performance I expect in this competition against every team. Outside of Fiorentina and Betis, and even those two, to be honest, well, less Betis, but more Fiorentina. Like, Betis is the only team where I don't really expect that type of performance against. Outside of that, I expect that type of performance in the second half, against every team we face. So I expect us to play against Copenhagen. Because that's what we should be doing to these teams. We should be beating these teams 3-0 comfortably, because we're miles better.
Yeah.
Like, we're miles better. Yeah, like I just thought it was an excellent second half performance by our two players. And I think we're starting to see with certain players that they can step up a little bit and they are getting back into a little bit of confidence. There's a couple of young players I think we're seeing that they are showing that they... Me too. There's a couple of young players that I mentioned that are showing that I think they deserve to be at least a part of this squad next season. I'm not saying they deserve, massive minutes, but when they're outperforming other players in their same position and other players in their not favoured position, as we will soon get to. Like,
I think I really hope it's a confidence thing that you mentioned right there. Chris, talk to me.
I thought the banner was pretty good. I really like that banner. I can't lie. You're not impressed with their banner? Like, come on.
Let me look it up. I wasn't paying
Have you not
attention
seen the
to
banner? That banner was actually a good banner.
Yeah, what banner are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't see the banner too with the lion and the knight? The sword going for with no fear? That was a really good banner.
Legia.
You did not see it. It's all over Twitter too, man.
I hate
I did see it watching it live.
How it's spelled. It's weird. Warszawa.
The chat, you saw it, right? The banner. The banner is a good banner. I do echo a lot what's stuff.
Oh, yeah, that actually is a pretty dope banner. Here, I'll pull it up right now. Actually, it's a pretty sick banner. Goddamn. Good eye on Chris right here.
I like my good banners, man.
This is a good picture. This is generational.
That was dope.
Yeah,
but
that's actually
Coco's
dope.
comment just made me chuckle.
Fear no more, yeah. Hey, that's
actually
man.
Damn. No, I mean,
hey, I got
there
a
was
other team, man. I called them legless when I first saw the name.
This man said legless. Here I have here just to before we actually continue this conversation. Where are my tweets, man? Oh, here they are. Because it was already known that the atmosphere in the stadium was going to be intense.
Well. It was brilliant.
Bro, imagine
I don't like the players too much because they fucking throw on the pitch, but
bro, we kicked off.
Yeah, go on.
Right. I was watching the game like on my phone because I was working at the time at the start of the game, and I see us kick off, and there's just this like haze over the pitch.
Yeah.
What was going on? Is it fog?
I felt like I was back in Argentina.
Yeah, right. Someone
Watching
set off
football in
players.
Argentina or some shit. Yeah.
And I was gonna say there was a flare that was set off literally like 5 minutes by the Legia Warsaw fans, like 5 minutes into the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
I mean, I felt like we had to delay it for 5 minutes.
5 minutes into it. Yeah, absolutely nuts.
I really hate how you said real nugget, Chris. I hate how you caused that.
What'd you it wasn't me, it was someone else. I just ran with it.
I was very sleepy in the first half. I thought I was going to go to sleep. Like Oliver said, it's a game of two halves because I felt like it's going to go that way in the first half when you have Nkuku as your striker. I don't think Nkuku and Sancho just work well together either. As if he's your striker, it's just never exists.
I don't think Nkuku works with anyone, bro.
No, that's true, I guess. But yeah, but you just can't play them two together. But yeah, like I thought Madueke definitely saved Chelsea like in that attack because Cole Palmer, he was just off it, was passed and it was delayed or just off it, like just not like even like linking up that well. Reece James, I thought Reece James was actually really good with Dewsbury Hall. He was just there sitting back and intercepting or, getting involved in the two first goals as well. Like he got the pre-assist for both of them, I'm pretty sure. Like I can't remember how the first one went, but I know he's involved in that one, but also the second one where he intercepted with his head and they scored straight after from it. I thought Sancho was a lot better in the second half as well. Obviously getting the 2 assists as well. That second cross he did to Madueke was a great cross, like open goal. We don't really see those goals too often at Chelsea. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy because like we gave our main players a lot of rest now, like from Brentford to this, and now we got Ipswich, which is no excuse not to use our best lineup now for the Ipswich game and try to get as many points as possible because we only got like 7 games left or something. Just go for it now. Use the B or C or whatever team you want to do in the second leg when we face them because it's already over, and that's what I like to see is like a 3-0 win, 4-0 win.
I wouldn't be upset, and if the next game I see a Mugu start, give him Mugu minutes.
You can do that. You can get away with it.
Yeah, you can get away with it. Give the other striker. I always forget his name. I'm so sorry. The striker that came on, Miheka.
Shimweka.
Shimweka. Give him minutes. Like give some of these players minutes that. That we can get away with it now because we put it. This is ideally, and I think Scott and I think everyone on the panel is going to agree with this. This is ideally what we wanted to do with Copenhagen as well. This is ideally what we want to do for the rest of the tournament, right? And that's why, like, even though it's a game where all of us can say here that we were expecting to win, we knew that going into this, the form hasn't necessarily been there. We looked like we've been struggling lately, at least prior to international break, where it was very possible, and I think some of us probably anticipated that we could potentially make a meal out of this, where it would have been a 1-0 or a 2-1. Like we would have made it harder than it needed to be. And I think part of this, and this is usually with these games, we don't necessarily come out with much analysis because we usually outperform our teams, but because of things and how things have been lately, I think now we're probably going to talk about this match a little bit more because now the performance is finally to a point where, or at least after today's match, we're seeing the performance finally be to a standard that we were at kind of previously, and we want this to continue on. Because we also want to bring this type of form into the Premier League. We got Ipswich next, and that's a match that
we need to win that game. They beat us.
We have to. We're favorites to win it. We have to. Yeah, we're at home. Yes.
Yeah, we gotta win that game. They beat us. We gotta beat them at our ground, and we need the points as well because Newcastle's breathing down our necks. They can technically overtake us, and Man City are right behind us too. I'm not sure how many points behind they are, but it's not many.
Obviously, JP, like I'm not saying get gassed about this game, like Chelsea are back and like no.
I'm gassed, man. We're winning the Conference League.
Well, this does give me confidence we're gonna win it, and honestly, this performance is a lot better than Copenhagen because I would even say Copenhagen we played a lot worse than that first half.
Copenhagen's a harder team though. Like this team, I have no clue they are. To be honest, I know who Copenhagen because I've been champions.
Copenhagen definitely had a sharper knife. in terms of like punishing us for mistakes, where these guys maybe not as much. If this was Copenhagen again, maybe they take more shots on target. They take more advantages of the counterattacks where they dispossessed us.
I just also the
I'm
game,
just happy the performance is back.
I had no fear like with that striker every time he's running on to our box or whatever. No fear. I knew he had no pace really. His shooting wasn't there. With this team, whoever they were, there's no threat from any of them. So. It's one of those games that's going to be easy in Copenhagen. Copenhagen's actually one of the harder ones in this conference league. Not the hardest, but they're definitely one of the harder ones.
So, in terms of, I do want to mention the first half because I was able to I had to work during it, so I couldn't really speak much on the Discord where we do watch-alongs, ladies and gents. If you don't know already, we do watch-alongs for the matches over on Discord. So if you want to, join in on the conversation, it's not like a chat, your typical watch-along. We actually chat it up, and we're all on a call together, and we get to watch it in pretty good quality together. But yeah, watch-alongs are on the Discord. Literal watch-alongs, not just me talking while you're watching on your end. We all watch at the same time. But I was able to, I had a deafen, so I was able to kind of focus more on the match than I normally would. And I feel like I want to discuss this about the first half, because the first half we all agree was lackluster. I think what I noticed in the first half is that we're very slow to pass the ball. And we don't really want to take risks when it comes to finding these small gaps in between the lines and getting the ball through. Whereas in the second half, we were a little quicker about it. We were more pacey about it. And on top of it, I feel like there were more risks there. And I wanted to ask you guys, because in my opinion, I think it's a confidence thing. I think there is a bit of not only the fact that it's a B team, it's a rotated side, right? It's also the fact that maybe these players, because of recent form, lack a little bit of confidence in themselves to, take the risk and find those passes in between. I kind of wanted to ask you guys, and we'll start with Oliver if your internet's back. Kind of wanted to ask, do we think that it's a tactical thing where Maresca probably values possession more than taking these risks and, high action football? Is it a confidence thing? Is it, just players being incompetent? Like, where do you stand, or where do you think the issue is? Because I'm sure you saw the same thing I saw too.
I think it's a bit of a thing with trying to keep the ball. I think the problem, I look at the players in that first half with the lineup that we had. You just got players like Nkunku and Sancho where you give them the ball, nothing's going to happen. So at that point, why give them the ball and risk a turnover? Whereas you look to the second half, you bring on a NONI Madueke, who I've said for the last 3 years is the best dribbler at Chelsea Football Club, and I still maintain that opinion. You bring him on, and he's moving, he's making things happen, he's consistent and effective on the ball. You can afford to take those risks because, as you see, he then gets the 2 goals. So it's a risk versus reward thing for me, I think. You have to have the players with the ability to look after the ball. And we brought one of those on in the second half, and it paid dividend.
Yeah. Scott and Chris, where do you stand on the issue with the first half versus the second half? I don't think it was I don't know if I believe that it was just a single 2 or one player that was causing the sluggishness and lack of emphasis in that first half.
I mean, go on, you go.
I think that it's a little bit of both, right? I think there was a little bit of tactical, just not moving it quicker. There was also points as well where like I said earlier, it got to the same 3 players, unless for one because he's not in attack, so he obviously can't always do something. But in attack, it was the same 2 players the ball would get to, and it would die immediately. Outside of the odd attack, I think you can go that one cross where he got to, what's his face, KDH. Outside of that, it's it would die. And then what makes it worse, that's jokes. What makes it worse, for Sancho, he got lucky, by the way, with this, because he had a better second half. But for Nkunku, it makes it worse, by the way. You've got an 18-year-old kid on the left-hand side, and every time he got the ball, he was making something happen or trying to make something happen. every single time he got the ball, and it was the same when he was up front.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you agree with my analysis of in the beginning where I said Tariq George got that first goal and then Nkunku probably should have been the one there?
Yes.
Because at that point they switched positions. So at that point he was the striker, and Nkunku was the 10.
In the first half, Nkunku should have been in those positions. That's the difference.
That's the first half. And that's the thing that I think. If I'm Nkunku, I'm looking at it going, I've got an 18-year-old playing my position in that second half, or playing the same position that I was, playing better than I did as a striker. He's played a striker like 3 times in his whole career, including this game.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it comes down to some of it, because like there was a moment in the game, and I know it's just a moment, it's not the whole thing, but George gets the ball, gets challenged on the ball, manages to hold the guy off and beat him on the dribble, plays it back inside, goes to James or something, goes back out wide to Sancho. He tries the same thing and loses the ball instantly. That's the difference to me. And I'll be honest, like I said, Sancho is lucky. Not lucky, but it's a good thing he had that second half, because that first half, I'd have ripped the loan contract up then and there after that first half. But then he turned it around and was way better in the second half. Like in the second half, he was miles better, got the 2 assists, was very good to pass, by the way. That first goal, the pass from Sancho into Noni, and then the coolness of Noni, like the composure, to not just hit that first time, curl that, to just slot that like in like near post.
Yeah, it was bouncing a bit. It was a good finish.
Very good finish. But yeah, like I think that's the thing. It's like that first half was more of the same of what we've been used to at the moment, in terms of like a little bit of tactically and a little bit of same players. Gusto as well. He's the one I mentioned. Lucky he wasn't in attack again. He got the ball. Things just died again. Just died. And that kept happening. In the second half, it was like something clicked. I don't think it was Palmer going off, because like that's stupid to say, but like you saw when George went up front and we had Noni on the right and Sancho went back to left, something seemed to just click. And I think what helped is we got that early goal. Us getting that goal about 3 minutes into the second half, just it clicked for us, and we were so much better in that second half. We need to take more shots on goal, by the way, because there are so many times we have not seen us have the ability to do what George did. Whether players aren't doing it or not, I think Jackson does, and Nkunku, let's not speak about him. I think he does that, and we've seen George do it. I think Neto can do that when he's played up front. We don't have the opportunity to do that enough because we don't take enough shots on target from distance.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was frustrated with at Brentford, bro. Brentford, like that one shot against Brentford where Enzo took it long. Bro, Brentford were giving us that shot all game long. Nobody wanted to shoot.
But you know what was actually... This kind of goes to me, like we were just talking about with the first half versus the second half, right? To me, once we got that goal, it seemed like the players started to be more confident. And the reason I say that is because even Jaden, and it was so noticeable. You guys noticed Jaden took a shot in the second half?
No.
It was his only shot, but he actually took a shot.
Yeah, he did.
And I was like, holy shit, you finally took a shot. Part of me also thinks that with Jaden, the issue might be a confidence thing. And I don't know why. Because I think he's a great dribbler, but he just doesn't do shit once he beats the man. And that's the part that annoys me with Jaden. But today, like, I was like, oh my God, you took a shot. And he, like what Scott said, like, not to as large of a degree. I was a little frustrated with him in the first half, but he was kind of, a lot of the attack was going through his side of the pitch versus Tariq's. The second half, he finally finds Nani. Maybe there's some link up there. I don't know. And then you get some of that GNA. But RSM, what'd you think of that second half? And I guess, just tell me about the game, man.
Yeah, I mean, just in general,
real quick.
Yeah, I said that. I said in the beginning, I think this game was gonna be a 3-1. I had some people laugh at me, but like respectfully, I said like once we start playing our more of our starting lineup in the Conference League, we were going to start winning games a lot easier than we might expect, just because of the level of the competition. And I'm glad to see that pan out. I think that the first half was, I think it was just kind of the same as usual. Again, we were just controlling the match the entire way through. I mean, they could barely find their way to our side of the pitch without us immediately winning the ball back. So I think that was positive. But, I mean, that first half was just boring. I mean, there's not much to say about that first half. It was a bit uninspired. And again, we just kind of fall into the trap once again where Nkunku as a false 9 is just it's worse than nothing because he single-handedly kills attacks in that 9 position. He can't do it, man. He can't be the last person to have the ball. He just can't. You saw that change in the second half when he's playing in the 10 and immediately looked a million times better. Like, it's just unfortunate, but he can't be used false 9. And that's when I said that when we saw it in the Prem again, like that's when I have to start looking at Maresca. Like, this is a failed experiment. We already saw it. It never works. So we need to stop with this, bro. You need to find other solutions. Play Shim or something, man. Like, it doesn't really matter. We just needed anybody up there who is going to chase the ball. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But
he
can't do that, bro. Go ahead, Scott.
I think you've seen it now. Like there were times before where you could argue, okay, there's not the options, blah blah blah. We've got injuries, whatever. Like even before this game, like I said in the group chat, I was like, Nkunku, I don't want him to start, but like there's no one else you can play. I understand why he plays. There is now, if Hiu is back, it's like there's 3. There are 2 other players that you can play at striker that will be better than him in Neto and George.
Also, I don't even care about.
Won't play all the time on the wing.
When's Mark Gu supposed to be coming back?
Apparently,
we don't know
he's
yet.
back in training.
Soon, soon. But for me, like, it doesn't even matter.
To me,
Like,
he should be playing
bro,
in
with the
the
Conference League,
but-
respectfully, until the final, bro, we could literally play Shimweka up top, and he might end up being goal scorer of the tournament. Like, come on, man. It's the level. It's the level of the competition, respectfully.
Who's top scorer? Is Mark Gu, right? Like 6
It is
goals?
Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
he
is,
might
it is,
not
it is.
be anymore, but he was. Yeah,
yeah.
The commentator said it was Nkunku.
What?
It's not on Nkunku.
I think it is in Kunku.
Let me have a
It's not
look.
on Nkunku.
That's what
It's
the
not
commentator
Nkunku.
said. I'm just quoting the commentator.
Yeah, I just
Mm-hmm.
in QQ.
I mean, listen, man. It for me, the second half though, again, once we had Tyreek George, I think that we should also. I feel like we should have more license to take those type of shots from midfield, bro. He's clearly the only person we have that can do that to a very high level. I think it's been
Yes.
multiple games where he showed that. His free kick showed that he has a shot on him, bro. Let him take the long shots, man.
I don't know what the commentator was talking about, by the way. It's not even Hiu. There's a dude. So one of the teams that played tonight has a guy that's got 8 goals in the
Just
tournament.
5. Oh wow.
Yeah, man. The
Nkunku
commentators.
Nkunku isn't even our top goal scorer. That's Hiu. He's got one
No,
more
he's
goal.
not.
than
Yeah,
us.
he,
I don't know what the
listen,
fuck the
man.
commentator was talking about.
Yeah, no, the commentators don't watch, man. They got hired for this one day, and they're like, "All right, bet, let me brush up. ChatGPT, help me out, bro."
They let him down.
But let me see. Second half though, once we had a striker, once he had again somebody occupying the center backs. Even though Tyreek George isn't an imposing presence, the fact that he's quick and he's willing to run in behind means that the center backs have to be on their toes. You know, they can't drift to help the wingers as much, so they get 2-on-1. You saw that. Sancho's getting a lot more 1-on-1s. Madueke was getting in 1-on-1 situations because both center backs were being occupied by Tyreek George. And especially after that first goal fell, that's when the center backs were like, oh, holy, yeah, we completely lost track of this little kid. We need to wake up. And then you saw that in the second goals, the amount of space that was afforded to Sancho and Madueke because we just had a real 9. And that's the unfortunate thing about Nkunku is he doesn't occupy the center backs. He drifts too much into the middle. So we don't have anybody. Again, when you are playing in the 9, you have to be in the natural position of the 9. It's unfortunate, bro, but it is what it is. That's what the system is made for. That's why I think the system doesn't really work with false 9s either. We just need a 9. Like, we don't need a false, we need a 9. You need to be in the right positions to occupy center backs to create the space so that the wingers can hold the width. But Jaden, I think second half, much better. I think Sancho was doing much better in the second half. Credit to him for the assist. I think they were very solid, very good decision making, I'll say. And for the third goal as well, like again, Nani was, he was in the right positions. That's what I want to see in the Prem, bro. There's so many times when that back post position is completely vacant. Nobody's in that back post position, and it's just like, and I hope Nani does this in the Prem more because so many opportunities end up being to the back post and just nobody's there. It just rolls all the way across.
I'm hoping.
The issue is.
Go ahead, Scott.
I think the issue of that is like the way our wingers work. He's the only winger doing that. Like Sancho ain't doing that, and Neto aren't doing that because they're not goal scorers. And I think this is the issue we keep coming back to with our wingers unfortunately, and people don't want to hear this. Noni, with the way we play and with the way our team is composed, is arguably our most important winger. He's our best winger this season. The bar is not high, but he's been our best winger. But he's arguably our most important winger because of stuff like that. Because he's the only one. Number one, he's like the only one who can actually have a bit of explosiveness when he dribbles. Like most of the time. Number two, he's the only one who can vary up his game to a degree. And number three, he's the only one that's going to do stuff like that where it's then going to help it's just going to crowd the box. He's going to look for goal scoring opportunities as well. So then teams have to worry about him. They don't know whether he's going to try and cross or shoot, or he's going to whatever he's going to do. So like that's how it is at the moment, and it sucks that it's Noni because the quality isn't quite there. But like that's on the other wingers as well for not doing that.
I said this, by the way, Scott. I said it's the nastiest. I think one of the nastiest like hangovers I've ever had watching the winger play yesterday in the Champions League to watching that first half, bro. That it was bad, man. It was bad, bro.
Yeah, and you guys were just talking about that far post. I think one thing that I'm hoping Nani was doing while he was injured is, bro, watching the games and noticing how often Pedro Neto makes that cross into that far post and no one's ever there. Bro, if I see a lineup with Nani and Neto in the same lineup, Nani, you know what to do. Be at that far post because you know Pedro Neto is going to go for that cross. He does that at least once or twice a game. Because that cross, look, Neto, for all of the deficiencies that people might be speaking on with him and all the crossing that's happening in his team, he's got a good cross. There's no point in not using it. When you see that cross, that far post cross, it disappoints me when I don't see a Jackson or I don't see a Palmer, or I don't see just any player, Cucurella, whatever, at the back end of it. If Nani can replicate what he was doing here with Jaden and do that with Neto, bro, come on now. Like, the goal is there for you. You just have to find that explosive run, right? You got to make that explosive run into that far post, and you got to put those away. They're on a plate. And it's a shame that we don't have someone that does that. I mean, just to go over this first goal here, we're just talking about Nkunku.
Oh yeah, the shot he made. That's the first goal he caused.
So this is the shot that James made. But look at where Nkunku is, man. Like, and he's asking for the ball on top of it too.
Isn't he playing as a 10 in the second half though, Nkunku though?
Yeah, this is where I disagree though. Like, I think Nkunku's in the position that he should be in because he's playing as a 10. Yeah, like, he's in the position he should be in. That's fine. The issue with Nkunku is not this moment. It's the fact when he's in Tyreek George's position, he's not reacting. He's not in that position, and B, he's not reacting. And he's like his positioning's bad, his reactions are bad. That's the issue. What happens here with Nkunku, I have no issue because of where he was meant to be playing. Like, if Palmer's in the same position that Nkunku's in, are we complaining?
So, I would feel like
I wouldn't. Okay. No, I wouldn't.
My gripe with this though is that, like, what are you supposed to do from here other than do the same possession ball, which is pass it here or pass it here?
Yeah, I mean, like, you can link up, like,
you can pass it here, but I almost rather you be in this area, you know?
No,
because
you can see
KDH is the box crusher.
Yeah, you can see him run into it.
All you have to do is just lay it off the KDH, and he's basically got the goal to shoot at. So I don't really see the issue there.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's seeing KDH. Look at his body positioning.
I think he does, because Reece James is about to hit that with his right foot. So you can see his movement there. He's probably thinks he can just get the ball there and then just make the pass there. That's all it is. I just think, for me, again, I don't understand. Like, listen, you know he can't play the 9. Just play him in that 10 position. If you're gonna just make that's all it comes out. That's what I've said.
It has to be anywhere, yeah.
Just even in the 10 position, or left wing. Him not play, man. Just don't play.
I mean, it's
not gonna happen. It's not happening. The problem is, the problem is Marshall. The manager is not making that happen. You know, yes, you may not want him to.
The manager doesn't have a choice. If the manager had Gio, he would start over.
No. Okay, wait, stop. Who do we have as a 10 right now, back up to Palmer?
Nkunku.
It's Nkunku, really. That's it.
That's what I'm saying.
Look, my point being, but that's exactly my point. In the conference league, you don't
play into 10. Let's see how that works, Marshall.
That's my whole
point. It's happened already.
In the conference league,
we've seen how it's gone.
In the conference league,
he scored a goal.
That's what I'm saying. Stop. Why are we doing this, man? You know, you see him smirking. You see he does it to annoy you. He does it to annoy you.
That actually was not me being a dickhead.
No,
actually.
I can tell when he's trolling and he's not.
That was not me being
serious.
This is me being a bit serious.
In the conference league, it doesn't matter. We speak of the Prem and the conference league. They're two different competitions. So when it comes to the conference league, in Kuku and the 10, there's no issue with it. It doesn't matter. Nobody should be upset about it because at the end of the day, what went under the radar as well, by the way, 7 days rest, Caicedo and Enzo.
Yeah,
Again, 7 days rest. They did not touch the pitch.
Yep.
Because Nkuku played the 9 and then played the 10. So unfortunately, like as much as we might not have Nkuku to play, we do not have the squad.
The problem
have Nkuku just not playing these conference league games. He has.
My problem is RSM, yeah, and I'll put it like this, yeah. It shouldn't matter who even put out that pitch. Realistically, we should. I said that before the game even started. People were crashing out in the group chat. That's why I didn't care who we played. That's why I didn't care who we played. Okay, today. My only issue again was I only had like a little bit of a thing about Palmer being like, we've tried this already about trying to bring him into form in the Conference League game. It didn't really work out. I don't see the point of us trying to do it again, if that makes sense. But
I don't think it's form. I think it's trying to get minutes under his legs. He was injured.
Yeah,
since
I mean, he only
missed all international break. He's been out of injury for about a month now.
Another 45,
but then, why didn't Jackson play then? If that's the case,
because Jackson came on in the last game, played 45 in the last game.
He
wasn't needed. Give him extra rest.
Jackson's injury was more serious than Palmer's. That's also why.
I mean, we can dilly dally on whether or not someone's injury is serious or not. I just think
Palmer was out for a week.
Legit.
Palmer was out for a month. Muscle degradation doesn't work that way. After 2 weeks, your muscles start to degrade.
So if it's muscle degradation, then why is he playing?
Okay, if you let me explain, you will understand. All right. Palmer was only out for a month. Jackson was out for a lot longer. So one, you have to be a little bit more delicate with Jackson because his injury was more serious. And two, he did just play 45 minutes 3 days ago. And then Palmer, who is still more fit than Jackson, can probably afford to play more minutes. So it's half a dozen, 6 and 1, and half a dozen the other.
So what about Madueke then? Are we saying Madueke also should not have played then?
No. He came on.
He should have. He needed minutes under his legs.
But Madueke had a hamstring injury, so
we saw Jackson have 45 minutes when he came on. So
did Jackson. So Madueke had 60 minutes.
Madueke didn't get 60 minutes.
No, he didn't.
He got 45.
Madueke came on at 45.
No. I'm talking about the previous game. Talk about Brentford because I was giving you the example. I'm trying to use comparisons, right?
Did he get 60?
I don't think he did. I think he got 45 as well, didn't he?
No, he got 60 because he stopped with Palmer. Palmer came on.
I thought he got subbed off.
He started the game.
Yeah. I know. I thought he got. Wait. I got it right on load.
And that's still though. Even if he played 60 before, he was managing his minutes.
I'm just, I'm just trying to understand.
A lot of it's minute management because I don't think Palmer was so bad as to get him as the
again, you're trying to be cheeky and saying I'm trying to understand it. We're explaining to you that based on the length and the time that they've been out and the type of injury, they're managing their minutes.
All right, boss.
Yeah, talk football instead of being worried about players.
And we don't have, and again, we don't have a backup 10. Again, that's back to that same point. We don't have a backup 10.
I mean, we technically do. We could display Sancho in the 10. Again, I'm just giving easy examples there. Sancho in the 10, Tariq George on the wing. That could happen. But listen, I'm not here to judge about who we play. At the end of the day, I don't care who we play. Even if we play some academy kids, I'm more than happy. We should be winning these games on a consistent basis, and I'm happy with the 3-0 win. So, I guess from that point of view, I don't mind it.
Yeah, I want to.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy about Madueke scoring a brace. Obviously, it's good to see. Hopefully, that can help him to obviously push on and score some more goals for us. Because we need someone in our attack who's at least consistent. Compared to some of the other guys.
Yeah, it's lacking.
Right, which I think all of us here would agree with. Again, I just think for me, Nkunku, obviously, when he played in the 10, I think that he became a lot more serviceable, right? So my thing is, if you're actually going to play Nkunku and he's going to come off the bench, because the reality is, until Gui comes back, and even then, I'm not too sure if the manager will ever do it, right? Nkunku will be getting some level of minutes in the team, right? Right? So we need to I would like
just
to
keep it in conference league is all I ask.
But my thing is, we just need to realize, guys, let's play him in the 10 more. I think Tariq George can, again, serviceable jobs is what I'm looking at.
Actually,
Tariq Tariq George can make the runs when needed, right? In this game, he made the runs when we needed him to. On the wing, he was very good. He did his job perfectly, in my personal opinion. He was probably a better winger in the first half as well. My thing for me is, guys that know when to make runs at the right time and do stuff like this. I think for me, when it comes to it, this is why I look at Maresca a little bit, and I'm weird because it's like I see what Tariq George can give to us, right? Realistically, and you're still not using him, and you're using guys like Sancho over him, right? It's just like this guy can definitely do a job for us better than this guy's doing for us. Like, let's be realistic. Yep. And again, my thing for me is, again, I said this before, Kukurea is a elder statesman, a guy that can help him out here, bro. You know what I mean? Comparatively, right? To help him out whenever he might be in a diff, whenever he needs an invert or an overlap every now and then.
Or even just give him the confidence is the thing with young players, right? Where if I try to, do a risky pass or risky dribble when I mess up and they regain possession, I'm confident because Cucurella's behind me and he's gonna win the ball back. And that's big for young players. It's big. I agree with Ahmed. Spot on.
So that's why I've always said, Tariq George getting minutes for me, well, even if it's not starting, but he comes on from the 60th minute or stuff like that, helps us a lot, bro. I just don't understand why the manager's not seeing that, in my opinion. That's what annoys me a lot, man.
I mean, here's the thing though. This competition versus the Prem, I feel like the Prem comes with so much pressure, and I don't know if I want to put that on Tariq George over
Can I ask you a question?
Situation.
Let me give you that question. Yeah, I'm gonna hit that back to you right now. When we were playing against Arsenal and he came on, right? Did you think the pressure was on him at that point?
I think so. Yeah.
I've got a better
and for me, he played in that Arsenal game when he came on quite well. He was probably our best attacker, barring Neto at times in the first half. In my personal opinion,
I've got a better example. Him in that Brighton game that we lost. What was it? 3-0. He did more in a 5 minute.
The one where Neto couldn't take on Lamptey.
Bro, he did more in 5 minutes. Outside of Noni, he did more than the other 2 wingers did in 5 minutes.
And you know what?
This is the thing for me with George is like, I understand the pressure thing, but when you're watching, like I said today, like Sancho played the first half against a Conference League team and was shit. Second half was good. First half was shit. He was getting outperformed by an 18-year-old kid playing in the same position. Like, that's not a pressure thing. Like, this pressure thing is cool, and I agree it's sometimes there, but there comes a point at which he can't be worse than what we already have. He at least is going to give you the same level of performance, which if he's giving me that performance, I can accept it because he's 18-year-old. He's 18 years old. I can accept that. I can accept that over Sancho giving me fuck all against whoever we just played, Brentford. I can accept that over Neto giving me fuck all against Brighton. I can accept that. Because I expect that from him.
But this is why I find, in my opinion, and I've said this over and over this season, you guys have heard me regurgitate this multiple times. One of the things I regurgitate all the time is, if you're here and you like the stream, smash up the like button. There's over 50 of you here that have not smashed up the like button, and that's disappointing. We won a game. Smash up the like button. For once in your life, be positive. For once, be positive. Breathe in, breathe out. You're alive. Chelsea won a game. Smash up the like button. But aside from that, I agree with what you were saying about the Brighton game, because it's one of those things that I was on Maresca's case on that, because you saw what happened in the FA Cup earlier that week. You saw how Neto was completely locked up by Lamptey. So when Nani fell to injury that game, why did you opt and default back to Neto? That didn't work. At that point, put on Tariq George. Like, see what he can do. Because he's definitely going to give you something else. Because Nani fell, 30 minutes into that half, and then Neto came on? So we saw in that first half, okay, this wasn't working. You could have made a different substitution and see how it worked out, right? Not saying hook Neto at halftime and then bring on George. In this example, though, this is where I go to what I've been regurgitating all season. This competition should be the platform that these players use to earn minutes in the first team. So like Tariq George's or Acheampong, which I'm sure we're going to talk about, when you put on performances like this, I think it gives the manager a headache to say, okay, He stepped up when I needed him to. He got me a goal when I needed a goal. You know, he opened up the scoreboard, which gave the rest of the team confidence to go and grab the game by the scruff of the neck. It's one of these types of performances that tell me, okay. I mean, obviously Jaden also stepped up as well in the second half, and that probably gives Maresca confidence to play him in the next match as well. But at least this gives Maresca confidence to give Tariq George minutes. Maybe not start him, but if you see something's not working against Ipswich, have confidence to give Tariq George 30 minutes. Have confidence to give him 35 minutes.
Listen, that's fair what you're saying, but the problem is, bro, some of our wingers have been playing poor for quite a while. Sancho is a primo example of that, bro. He's been playing for a long while, bro. Doing the same thing. Direct dribbling, not shooting, passing backwards. And you've been seeing that for a long while. And you still decided not to give Tariq George a chance. And the thing is, we've had Conference League games in this period. Even. So it's not even like, the excuse exists here that Tariq George been playing trash or something like that, bro.
I think we've just got to come to terms with the reality of it. Like, based on, like, I know what you're saying, Marshall. Like, this competition should be used as an opportunity for these players to get a chance of some minutes in the Premier League. The way Maresca manages it, it's not possible. I think, based on what I see on my screen, he definitely prioritises quote unquote seniority over these academy players. You know, like. And it's not just with Tariq George. You can go further back on the pitch with Josh Acheampong. You know, he could have had more minutes at both centre back and right back. Has not gotten that chance at all in the Premier League.
I think the thing with the pair of them, and I'll just touch on George quickly. I think both of these dudes, this season is where it is, right? I think, but I don't think both of them are gonna get the minutes this season. I think they've got. But I think that's due to a mixture of people in their positions performing poorly, but also them performing well when they've been given the opportunity. Next season, both of these guys should be given proper places in the squad. Like next season, I'm going into next season with Tariq George as my backup left winger. I think at this point Sancho is dead. That like he should be sent back, regardless of what he does for the rest of the season. Mudryk is Mudryk. He's done. You can't really afford to sign two left wingers in the summer, especially because you got Quenda coming back in 2026. So next season, I'm just spending big money on a quality left winger who's going to start basically every week, and I'm having George as his backup. That should be the plan going forward, because then you give George the opportunity to show, okay, instead of just giving him little like pity minutes here and there, can he actually have a place in this squad going forward? If no, cool, you just sell him the year after when Quenda comes back. If yes, maybe you loan him out to get some more experience. Maybe you have to work out what you do. Maybe there's a way you can move the squad around, whatever it is, right? And it should be the same with Acheampong. It's a little bit different, a little bit harder because the people ahead of him and positionally speaking and whatnot. But both of these guys should have positions and should have spots in the squad next season. They've shown they are capable of playing in this squad. Now you should have to give them a chance to have actually more minutes against higher opposition to show whether they can hang with that level of opposition. Because like I said, I'm not being funny. That like, George has not been worse than any outside of Noni. I don't think he's been worse than the other two wingers this season. Acheampong's been better than Gusto. I'd argue at centre back he's been better than
even agree with that.
Gallagher. He's been better than Badiashile. Tosin whatever, and I'd argue he's been about as consistent as Colwell has across the season. So there's no reason why these two shouldn't be given more chances next season. No reason.
The thing for me, and
real quick comment before you go. This is the stupidest fucking moving of the goalpost.
Can I just say this quickly? Please.
We literally...
No. Listen, wait.
Are you talking about the top 8 or the big 8?
Scott, tranquilo. We don't need to be engaged in this, do we? Like, we know... Listen, you talk about origination. Oh, he stopped baiting us about the medical stuff. This mother is baiting you guys, man. Can we stop?
No. Hold up. That's all. That's why I've been quiet. I'm just fighting him in chat quietly. I'm letting everybody speak.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? I'm just doing it in chat.
Like Potch Prop is crazy, but it's also like
that's
at the end of the day,
bro.
But this is the thing. I said this a stream ago, right? Like I don't know if it was on here or on Twitter, but I said like, watch, this is what's gonna happen. Maresca's gonna get us into Europe, and Chelsea fans are gonna move the goalposts. Oh, we should have been we should have won a trophy. We should have been, I don't know, fucking been further in the Carabao Cup or the FA. next season.
By the way, I already saw that. Somebody said, but Poch gave us deep cup runs.
Did we win? I had this debate with Alex with Alex on Chelsea Fan TV. I think it was yesterday. He was like, "Yeah, but we got to the finals. Did we win?"
Who gives a shit? Yeah, exactly.
No, it's even worse, Scott. Scott, you need to ask. You need to ask why did we lose as well? Because
no, but I'll be real. RSM, I don't care why we lost. Did we win? If the answer is no, who gives a shit that we got to the final? Since when do we care about getting to the final and not winning?
I know you're trolling. You say the US team is crap. This crap US team was able to win the conference, whatever the fuck, CONCACAF conference, and Gold Cup. We're gonna drop out of both of them because of Poch.
This is a complete tangent. The USMNT is the best team in CONCACAF.
Yeah. And
we
lost. You know what? Robert's right, man. Nation.
Robert, give it a rest, bro. You have a stinky agenda. Agenda merchant. Robert, you're an agenda merchant. All right. Shame. Agenda. Fuck what Ahmed has to say. Agenda. You have an agenda, Rabba. Hold that. You have an agenda. Fuck you. Agenda merchant.
Hey, shame on you. Full screen is at least when you're doing that, man. You know
I wouldn't trust that.
Shame on you. Agenda. Hey. Stop typing. Because all you're typing is agenda. Boop. Agenda.
The boop is crazy.
You just did the poop.
What is going on, man? Listen, what happened to the stream, man? Tranquilo, please. You know what I mean? Let's get back to talking.
What happened to Rainbow? Is Rainbow? Never mind. Let me not say that on the stream. That's wild. Okay, go ahead, Ahmed. You were gonna say something before.
This is what is happening to the game I love. But you know what it is, man. You know, I'm just gonna say, you know, I look at a Chimpong, I look at George, and it's just, you know, these guys can add to our squad in its current state. That's what we look at. The key word I say is current state. Whatever happens in the summer, God knows, you know what these guys are like. Someone's could be gone, someone could be coming in. I can't control their transfer windows. But one thing I know is what can I see now? What can be done? These two guys can definitely add to the team. It's as simple as that, bro.
Exactly, and it's like I said. I just want to reiterate the point. We have a winger that you've spent £40 million coming in 2026, who apparently you see as a left winger going forward, because that's what you want. All reports we keep hearing is they want a right-footed left winger. Cool, that you bought that. He's coming. If so, he's coming in on 2026. So what is the plan with the wingers? Say we sign Sancho. Cool, okay. Is he the starter next season? Because if he is, I don't have high hopes. We've already seen that this season. If he's not the starter, does that mean we're getting someone else in? Cool. So what happens to George? What happens when Kenda comes back? What happens? It's just planning. It's more planning.
Bro, Strasbourg, man.
Cool. Great. You can go a season with having a top, for example, let's just say we sign Lookman. I expect him to play most of the games next season. Outside of when he goes to AFCON. I expect to play most of the games. That's fine. That's what I expect my starters to do. So he can play and be fine. And then it doesn't really matter who the backup is, because the backup needs to be playing 20 minutes a game here and there. Maybe start the odd game against Leeds. That's fine. And like I said, with the Achimpong thing, and I want to touch on him a little bit as well, for his performance.
Go ahead.
With the way Gusto's playing, he might end up being our backup right back.
Yeah, Achimpong today, I ain't gonna lie, he was absolutely solid. At no point, because that's the thing too. We were talking about Tariq George, right? One thing that worries me about Tariq George, and not to say that I felt like this is where I disagree with Maresca. I felt like he was being way too harsh on Josh, because prior to his most recent appearance, I think his last start was against Bournemouth. It was Bournemouth, I believe, where Kirkez, or was it Clivert, cooked him, and we hadn't seen him play since. It was Semenyo, yeah. And I felt like that was, in a sense, listen, I don't know the player. I haven't spoken to the player, so I don't know how the player felt mentally. Confidence was he shook by that? I don't know. Maybe Maresca was over defending him. But if we play Tariq George the next game, if we start him, which I don't think he will, he played the whole game. I don't think he came off. Oh, he did come off at the end. if let's say for example he were to start against Ipswich and then we lose because maybe he had a chance he didn't put away, something like that maybe weighs heavy on the player. And I don't know if maybe Maresca babysits these players a little too much instead of letting them just kind of, all right, let's see if you can shake it off kind of situation. Where Achapong today, like, bro, at no point did I think his confidence was shook since his last start against some, Bournemouth, and having that goal that Semenyo scored while it was on your side. And not to even think it was too much of Achapong's fault, but regardless, maybe he could have defended it better. Semenyo also had a worldie that was mildly a worldie of a goal, but he looked just fine out on that pitch. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
The thing with that, I think you have to compare it to what you're up against. So, like your hypothetical with Tariq George, for example, if he missed a chance against Ipswich, well, like the first thing I think when I hear that is, okay, does Sancho even get a chance? Does he make a chance for himself? So if Tariq George is getting a chance, we're already moving in the right direction. And it's just about comparing you to your own competition. Again, with Achimpong, I'll bring it to him as well. He looks better on the ball than Gusto in every sense. He's not giving it away stupidly. So by that account, again, it's already, you're moving a level up to an extent. So it might not be where you want to be, but it's definitely better than what your alternative is.
I mean, after the game, Maresca had really glowing praise to say about Achimpong, but we've seen this before too. Like we've seen this whole act play out before. He has glowing praise for the player, and then doesn't play him.
He did it with Felix, and he's now at Milan.
Yeah,
but this is this is where my issue becomes the manager, right? Because like, there's gonna be game. Listen, if you're gonna keep playing guys that are gonna let you down, then don't be surprised by the results. That's what I would say to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna say to you. Again, if you yourself 100%. Are saying, and for me, it's like, again, you yourself are also agreeing. You yourself are also saying that we need top 4. This year, top 5, whatever it is. Okay, sorry, Chris. Irregardless of the matter, right? 4 or 5,
Champions League.
Right? You know what I mean? 4 or 5, whatever it is. Yeah, you need that, bro. Yeah. Control what you can control. That's how we are. Don't think about yourself. I'm talking about ourselves. Control what you can control. What can you make better to make sure that puts you in the most successful position possible? That's in life, bro. Not in football, in life, bro. And I feel like, he's not helping himself in doing so, Marshall. That's what I would probably say at times.
At times. But I think it's also... it's complicated. This is where, like, the bloated squad thing comes in. This is where the man management comes in. Because right now, I mean, it feels like the team is... You saw the transformation from first half to second half. The team is still receptive to the tactics. They're responding to what he's saying. They do, respect him, and they're not just doing their own thing on that pitch, barring maybe Nkunku, right? But I think the tricky part of Achimpong is Gusto. I think Gusto had a great game today. Genuinely, I mean that. I think Malo Gusto had a good game today. Yeah, great game. I think he had a great game. I think he was effective. Yeah, I agree. I think he was really effective today. I don't think he was.
Best, I think. I don't know.
At times he lost the ball, but then he regained it back.
He had a decent game. I don't agree. It's like, I don't know.
No, man, I think
I'm not putting him there for like man of the match, but I think he had a, compared to how we've seen him most of the season. I thought today's game, Malo Gusto was almost back to what he was last season, but I don't expect it the next game.
When you say great, would you say like he was one of our top 3, top 4 performers of the night?
I would put him in the top 4, maybe in 4th.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I thought Malo Gusto was great today.
What happened?
This is this is the problem.
Scott's just stunned.
I have top 4 players, bro. He wasn't better than George. He wasn't better than Achimpong. He wasn't better than Reese. He wasn't better than KDH. He wasn't better than Sancho's second half. He wasn't better than Noni.
Top 4? Wait, you said Gusto top 4?
I think he's
top
top 4
yes.
man of the matches today.
You know what's crazy? Like I know because we're gonna get stuck in this whirlwind of an argument. Like give your reasons why you think Gusto had a good match, and then give your reasons why you think Gusto didn't have a good match.
I don't think he's bad, but at the same
You
time,
want me to do both?
No, well, obviously each side, because otherwise you're gonna be. We're gonna do this thing where we're like, how could you say that? How dare you? No, but he had a good game, but he had a bad. Just explain yourself, please. Like
I think Gusto had a good match because one, he had to play on the left back, inverting into the midfield, and I think for him to do that, which is a side that he's not comfortable with. He did lose the ball a few times here, but he managed to recover. Not really much issues coming from that side either. He was involved with the play. He was involved in the midfield. He was doing his thing with Reece James there. I think he was maybe great was over exaggerating, but I thought he was pretty solid. I think it was good overall. Like I can't really say much or complain much about Malo Gusto. Maybe he didn't give you much of the attacking output, but at the end of the day, when it comes to Malo, like this season specifically, bro, just keep it simple, stick to the defending, and we're good. You know, stick to the defending, we're good. Don't be a liability. And when you have Malo Gusto fulfilling so many roles in a game, I understand why Maresca wants him to be on the pitch. Like he likes those Swiss Army knife players. And I'm not saying Acheampong isn't that. I do think Malo Gusto does fulfill a lot of roles for Maresca that we're starting to see Acheampong, and maybe Maresca's starting to see that Acheampong can actually provide that as well. I just don't know if he has the confidence that Acheampong can do it game in, game out. Not that Malo Gusto's been that great, but this, to me, this game in isolation shows me, okay, Malo Gusto has the capability to put in a shift. He isn't gone completely like I thought earlier on onset in the season. So I think he had a solid performance today, man. I don't think he gave us much of an issue or there was much of a problem. Maybe not top 4, but at least 5th for me. I think he was solid.
I have to agree with that comment, man. Honestly, big up to my boy Gusto.
Sharp on it, bro.
Solid gameplay.
Oh,
I think. Listen. You know what, Scott, man? Keep hating, you little fraud. You know what I mean? That's why you're in the bottom. That's why you're in the bottom right. You know what I mean? You little cuck.
I mean,
you little cuck.
if Scott had a camera, he'd probably be on top. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, if I had my camera on, I'd be top row, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, don't worry, man. Hey, man, don't buy a camera. They love my lovely face around there. But
Buddy
you know
Shield
where
had a
it's.
good game today too, but he had a quiet shift, and I think that's.
I mean, Buddy Shield didn't need to do anything. Let's be real. Buddy Shield didn't need to do anything.
I don't think Gusto did like anything like top tier like.
All Buddy, I think Gusto had a little bit of like they were trying to run at him. They were trying to run at him in the first half initially, but other than that, I think he did a solid job. He did what he needed to do. Again, he's a good confidence booster for Gusto from a Gusto perspective in my eyes, right? But I think for me, the thing about Gusto is gonna be when you bring him back onto the right wing and you then try to do the thing of him inverting again and then doing that other stuff. That's where I think the problem lies, bro. Just tell him to be a proper fullback, up and down. Keep it simple, and I think
see, like,
a good job for you.
he had 61 out of 66 passes, Curry.
He also lost the,
His
he lost the
passing
ball
was
to join
ass.
most of, he lost the ball to join most of any player Chelsea player, by the way.
Most of our passes like 5
Yeah, but he
yards
also
away,
recovered he also covered the most too, Scott. So
No,
I'm trying
but
to say
yeah,
He
of
did
course, he did a
recover. I saw
Gallagher.
those
So what you're
recovery
telling me,
runs.
what you're telling me, and of course you would rate this, Ahmed. He did a Gallagher then. He was about as effective
I'm
as
not
Gallagher.
So you see this year. Why are you hitting on a common player? Common players won for us today, so I'm here to celebrate.
I felt like
See
the
Acheampong take a shot.
I felt like
what
the
are we
I
doing?
at the very
I'm here to celebrate Cobham today. So are you not here to
pause?
celebrate Cobham? That's what I thought. See,
Yeah,
I
like
mean, Cobham
for
Nation.
me with the Gusto thing, like I said, he lost the ball the most times of any Chelsea player, the joint most long with Palmer. Like, passing was okay. He still offers literally nothing going forward. His crossing still sucks. There were a couple of crosses he did that were awful. Like, they just suck. Like, he's just there. That's literally all he's been most of the season, has been poor or just there. And I compare it to the guy on the opposite side to him, who was excellent today. Whether it was inverting into midfield, the what is it, like 10, 15 minutes he played in midfield? Very good. Playing in the back defensively, very good. Was comfortable on the ball, able to use his physicality. And I understand Gusto can't because he's not as tall as him or big as him, pause. But when I'm seeing Acheampong do that, I expect more from Gusto. You were fine at best. He was fine. But we played friggin' Warsaw, who were crap in that second half. I just expect better. And this has been Gusto the whole season. It's like I said earlier, if he's going to continue having these meh performances and Josh is going to continue having good performances, then there may come a point where he overtakes him.
See, like I'm looking at the stats, and their stats are so identical.
But my problem is Marshall. My problem is
I just
Marshall.
don't. I guess I get where Scott's coming from. Where like I have certain standards for Malo and certain standards for Josh, and obviously Malo should clearly be the better player every time. But if I'm talking about they have similar stats, then that looks bad on Malo. So I'll give you that.
No, it's not, because I think the problem for me is that Malo is playing out of position today. He legit was playing.
That is also true. That's a good point.
Isn't Action Pond a centre back? Action Pond a centre back?
No, he's a right-sided centre back.
He played right back today. He can play centre back and right back.
Yes.
I thought he's normally centre back. Okay.
He's a dual position player.
Yeah, in the first team, he's mostly been a centre back, but he's played both in the academy.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
You know what I mean? I just think for me, my big problem, and I'll repeat this again, is that the way we talk about Gusto is that we are also not talking about the way the manager, in my personal opinion, has been using him. That's the problem, bro. The way he gets used by the manager does not help him, bro.
I'm not doing it.
No,
he gets used up anymore.
No, it's true though, bro. Like let's keep it real.
No, it's
the
not
way
true.
he's used by the manager is not how.
It's not always that though. It's not.
No. I'm not saying that. No. I agree that it's not just that, but I also think a big part. I think it plays a big part though. The way the manager has been using Gusto in terms of not left back, but when he plays as a right back, he's inverting. He's doing this thing about also what's it called, playing in the midfield. A lot of this stuff, bro, was not something that this guy was known for doing, bro. He doesn't have any previous to this, so I think for me, you know what I mean. I think for me, and my personal opinion, it's just shout out Will, by the way. But like, it's just for me, it's just like I think we've been a little bit unfair to him. We can criticize his performances this season in general in terms of the way he's been playing himself too, right? But I think two things can be.
We're talking about the game in isolation, Curry. Let's not do this, man.
But I think we can. I think two things can be true.
You know, I agree with you. He's been shit all season.
No, but I agree with Curry. But I think Curry is not understand what I'm saying. I think a large part of what's happened with Gusto is the way he's been played and his positioning, right? By the manager. And then I think there's a secondary thing, obviously, which is also I feel like the player himself. I don't think he's been up to standard himself, right? That's what I'd also argue too, right? Why he's not met the minimum expected from him, and I feel like that too as well. So I think that's a secondary thing too. But I think both of them together have played a part.
Ahmed, can I ask you a question? Mm-hmm. Can you explain to me why Gusto has this same thing that Mudryk does, where he doesn't work on things in training?
What do you mean by that, though? I guess that's the question.
This guy's crossing has been shit for 2 years now.
I think that's fair.
I don't know about 2 years. That's a little exaggeration.
No, his crossing has sucked the entire time it's been here. The entire time. It was okay at best last season.
First season was okay.
But I think
he did low.
Chris, his best attribute last season was 1v1 defending.
Yeah. No, I didn't say which is best. I thought most
of the good crosses he did last season were low crosses. Anytime he tries to put a cross in the air, it's shit. Why haven't you worked on that? Because it's the exact same this year. We're getting to nearly 2 seasons where you have not worked on your crossing. If you'd worked on it, it would be better.
Talking about Gusto is.
Yeah.
What about Gusto?
Yeah, I need to understand why this guy doesn't want to work on his crossing.
Conversation. You'll pick up on it.
We cooked, and rightfully so, we cooked Mudryk for doing this, for not working on things in training, because it was evident he didn't work on them, because it was the same when he got to games. I'm not going to cook Gusto for doing the same thing, because that's only fair.
What are we saying sell Gusto, or are we just cooking him for the game?
No, I'm just saying like he wasn't.
We're just talking about the game.
No.
Basically, not just these top 3 players.
Everyone knows I'm a massive fan of Gusto. Like, I wanted him at Chelsea.
You did, yeah.
I'm a big defender of him. I just think he's having a bit of a poor season. I think there's context of being like played in this inverted role. However, we're now in April. Like, you should have picked up on something by now. I think next season is sink or swim. If you're not able to pick up on this by next season, then you've got to go in the summer or next summer.
And I think it's not even just
quality. If you don't fit what we're actually trying to do, there's no point keeping you.
That's what I'm saying. For me, I agree. This is before you go, Scott. Yeah, this is my big thing, bro. I don't think he even suits what we're doing right now. That's been my fundamental thing,
I think
regardless
he's
of
improved on it.
The problem is,
He has improved on it, but that improvement
he's
is
not
still
reached
not
the level.
good enough.
He's not reached the level that we need him to. Like,
No.
is he
I'm
like
not even on it. I'm not saying be Reese level, by the way. Reese and Kukurea are two world-class fullbacks. I'm not
That's what I'm
saying
saying, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Like,
Or even Caicedo level.
You're not. We're talking about a fullback, not in
Well,
general.
Caicedo when he inverts. We're talking about the
Oh,
inverting.
okay, yeah, that true.
I mean,
But like, I'm
yeah.
talking about like this season, Josh has played better than you. Whether playing as a like makeshift right centre back in this back three, or when Josh played in midfield today in the second half.
In the minutes that Josh has played, yes, I'll give you that. I think it's a little bit of an unfair comparison because one's played a lot more minutes.
I think he will improve, and get better. I'm not saying you need to be world class at doing it, but like you need to be a good enough backup for us.
I need this to be a 7 out of 10. That's what we need him to be, right?
Like,
I need you to be a 7 out of 10.
Right now, you're performing at like a 4 or 5 at a push.
And I think the thing for me is, I don't think this is why I look at the manager a little bit here and I'm like, he's not simplified the positioning for him, right? Because I feel like it's been way too overcomplicated for him because he's inverting. He's then also doing that little thing where he's almost also being like a box crasher at times, right? If remember that 4-4-2 video that you watched recently, which kind of showed you the amount of stuff that he's doing, right? I don't think he's reached that level of capacity mentally and then both physically to understand every single step of that tactic right now, right?
So I disagree because Gusto's role has been simplified. He's no longer playing as a false 10 or false 8. His game has massively been simplified.
Now it's been, but I'm talking about in general though, like throughout the season, if that makes sense.
But when's the last time he was doing that though?
No, because he did that already like a month ago. It was only a month ago when he was playing similar to the way you're speaking about.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you've looked at now, it's particularly I'll probably argue post what's that period that we just had right now? International break, right? You can see he's actually been a lot more simplified on him because he either inverts, stays back, right, or he does the 1v1 defending the vast majority of the time. Because, like, again, all you need to look at again is just the Brentford game, the way he was playing there. That was almost like he was playing like his old self when he was under Poch, if that makes sense. So for me, that's probably what I would probably say more than anything else in that regard. But listen, Acheampong, having a guy like Acheampong, by the way, you know, I mean, I just watch Acheampong, in my personal opinion, he's a guy for the future, right? He's a guy that I think for me can be our Swiss Army knife. That's who we need him to be right now, right? So I don't know if he can play left back necessarily. I know he played one game in the conference to get left back, which I thought was all right. But realistically for me, I need him to be my right back, centre back, and midfield every now and then cover. That's what I need to be looking at to be used a bit more, in my personal opinion.
The thing with the left back thing, though, you have to blame the directors for that because they got rid of our left back.
The thing is, though,
and their justification for it was because Reece and Gusto can play left back.
Exactly, man. Getting rid of Joel, man. Massive L, man.
The thing is, for me, this goes back to that theory I mentioned some time ago where I feel like football is going more in a direction of, instead of players playing in certain positions, it's about getting a good 11 out there and having them occupy certain spaces versus certain positions. And I think if we take in isolation, right, Malo Gusto as a player versus Acheampong, I think Malo Gusto is a better player, right? But in terms of the performances on the pitch, I think Acheampong has been giving me better performances. Why is that? I think a lot of it has to do with what Ahmed was saying, what Prime was saying, which is the different responsibilities while you are in the game. And I do think that Malo Gusto is talented enough to pick up on that. I think he's a smart enough footballer to be able to adapt and just be able to do a job well. And I think he's being asked to do a lot more in that position than Acheampong is being asked to do. But it's been taking longer than all of us would like. I have noticed a staunch difference in Malo Gusto at this point of the season versus the beginning of the season where he was just horrible and I wanted him dropped relentlessly.
He's still the same.
I don't think he's been the same. I think he's been improved. He's been much less of a liability than the beginning of the season.
No, he hasn't. Marshall. We literally watched him be shit 5 days ago. Not 5 days ago.
I don't think he was shit 5 days ago either. I don't think he was shit against Brentford.
He did nothing against Brentford. He was terrible going forward, again, because he's been terrible going forward. Defensively is what it is. He didn't really get... he still wasn't good.
But that goes back to like what I was saying, right? Like, it's a weird adaptation thing, right? Because you were saying earlier where his crosses aren't great. And obviously, compared to Reece James, his crosses aren't great. But he has some crossing ability. It's not fantastic. It's not anything to cry home about. But the one thing I liked about Malo Gusto is the passing option that he provided last season, overlapping, the work rate, the defensive ability, all that stuff. When you invert him into midfield, then you don't have to rely on the crossing, because that's one thing as a fullback is something you should have in your tool belt is a good cross, right? We all probably agree with that. We've seen our fullbacks do that all the time in the history of Chelsea. With Malo, you can still have the good player where like he can 1-2 link up and find a pass here and there in the midfield. This season, he hasn't been that great, especially in the beginning of the season versus now. Now he's not as much of a liability as he was in the beginning of the season. I disagree with you, Scott. In the beginning of the season, he was giving the ball away constantly. He didn't know where to be. He would find himself in a 10 position all the time, get dispossessed all the time. I wasn't seeing that against Brentford. Against Brentford, I did not see that. And if it did happen against Brentford, it was not as large as it was earlier in the season.
It's still the same thing, bro. Like, the only difference is he's not getting cooked defensively 90 times a game. He still got cooked defensively against Brentford a couple of times by Sharda. We're just lucky that their forward line was shit. Like, he's been terrible this season. He has shown no improvement at all. I also find it ironic, by the way, and someone mentioned this earlier, that Achimpong inverted into midfield. In fact, he didn't even invert. He was just a midfielder for 10, 15 minutes and didn't have a single issue, despite never playing there before. That's because
Achimpong is technically secure, and Achimpong has played in a back three before. With the last international break for England, he was playing, I think, under 21s.
Has he played in midfield before? I'm asking.
No, not in midfield, but he was playing in the middle of a back three.
No, that's fine. I know he can play in a back three. He played in midfield this game after who is it? Reece James went off and Kukurea came on. He went into midfield and looked more comfortable in midfield than Gusto has at any point this season. That's the issue. We can do this positional thing. We can do this tactical thing. We are speaking about Gusto in April, and he has been the same player outside of a couple of nice games here and there. He has been the same player the entire season. And I agree with what Prime said earlier. And this goes back to the point I made about Achimpong. If Achimpong stays in this squad next season and gets real minutes, next season is sink or swim for Gusto. So if he has another shit season, he should be gone. He should be gone.
He should be. Like, again, I do think Gusto is like better now than he was earlier in the season, but that's also due to the fact of he was such a massive liability, whereas now I think he's not as much of a liability. However, it's still not good enough, so it doesn't really make it. It's like trash free garbage, I guess. It doesn't really make a difference. But Gusto, I hope he does improve. I still stand by in this system. I think he'd do best playing as one of our wingers. But then again, we talk about his crossing ability, which is also something that's weird, because when he played in was that Lyon, when he was playing in Liga, one of the best things about him was the fact of he could actually cross, but he wasn't that good defensively. But he comes to Chelsea and now he's good defensively, but he's not good going forward. It's so weird, bro. Like, just spend the summer. Actually, we can't. Club World Cup. Just spend a few weeks with Reece James crossing, bro. Yeah. Something's got to happen with you, bro. I don't know what. Madueke has improved on his crossing. Why can't you? It's weird.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, it's definitely. I do feel that part of the problem is Gusto is a slow learner. I disagree with Curry and I disagree with Scott. I do feel like he's gradually improved since the beginning of the season. He's been nowhere near as bad as he was in the beginning of the season. But I do agree with both of you in the sense that, like, he does need to improve. Like, he needs to be better. And next season, if he's still playing this bad, is he still being a liability to the team? Because I don't disagree with that either. I do think to a degree against Brentford, like against previous games, even though he has improved, he's still been somewhat of a liability. If he's still that liability and we can't confide in him, and we always have this in the back of our head, this feeling that, oh, fuck, any minute now, Goose is going to do some stupid shit and he's going to cost us, then yeah, I think Achimpong moves up to promote it to the backup to Reese or whoever you want to put in that right back position. And Malo Gusto, you're going to have to fight for your position. And if you lose that fight, man, you might have to move on to a different club. And and it's harsh, but this is, I keep saying it again. I feel like Chelsea are slowly progressing back to that era of like, we have so many players in so many positions, the best will make it to the starting 11. And from there, we might have to start saying goodbye to some of our favorites that just aren't better than the ones that took over their position. I'm talking about the Carneys. I'm talking about, I'm not saying anyone's favorite Sterling, but Sterling is in there too.
Reese is so talented.
Oh shit, I just noticed someone's in the background, sorry. There you go,
Gusto is so talented as well, bro, that like, I just don't sell him to another Premier League club, man. Because we're gonna sell him and he's gonna cook. And this same fan base that's on his ass, pause.
No, that's exactly what's gonna happen.
In a year's time saying, why did we sell Gusto? Look at him, he's world class. Oh, Reece just got an injury and he's out for a few games.
There's a very good player there.
Bro, they did it with Havertz. They did it with Havertz, and in my mind, Gusto was more talented.
For me, just listen, I just think if in a different system where it's just him being a proper fullback, I genuinely believe he will thrive, bro. That's what it just is for me. And like again, players can have down seasons naturally themselves, but for me, at the end of the day, right, I just think for me, maybe with time he gets better of the system, as some of you guys are saying now. But listen, maybe this might be just a natural down year for him as a player. Young guys, they go through highs and lows. Maybe this is his low season, and he comes back bigger, better, stronger for next season.
Yeah, I think it's very possible.
Hopefully.
CP, I disagree. I just noticed you were in the background. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. No, I just joined. It's all good, Marshall. I vehemently disagree. He's ass. In the Brentford game, he couldn't even make a 5-yard pass to an open man, and it got intercepted. I remember that pissed me the fuck off when we were trying to go for the win. Couldn't even make a 5-yard pass.
Are you drinking milk out of a flipping milk carton? What the flip, bro?
No, yeah. Actually, I shouldn't have showed the milk.
Do you know
that screenshot?
I'm doing the same. I don't know what.
I shouldn't have showed that milk. That's when it gets screenshot.
He's a milk, and that's crazy.
I've never seen someone
some milk.
Man, I've never seen someone drink the milk carton like that, bro. The video like this, bro. At
least for a small one.
Yo, look at the face, babe.
Nah, you're cooked, Prime. You are cooked.
Nah, Prime. This Prime 1 minute 25. Yeah, that's it.
Are you saying I should clip it? Hey,
yes.
You know what?
No, you're frozen right now, drinking milk.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You are cooked, my friend.
You said if it ain't snow.
You know what? Thank you, Marshall. Leave that thing up as well at Ladimus Prime. If you're gonna clip me, at least follow me as well. Thanks, guys.
There you go.
Don't put it on big screen.
You unfroze. All right, CP. Sorry. The milk one.
He left.
The milk one is crazy.
What a milkman! He's definitely a milkman.
He a milkman, listen, man. Out the cart, straight out the curtain too. He ain't even.
Straight out the cart is actually insane.
Yo.
What's wrong?
Oh my god, this is insane.
I can't.
I do this.
Bro, my man don't even got the decor to put it in a glass. Man, just straight up.
Why would I, bro? It's like
he's feeding it for the milk, bro.
It's 568 milliliters. Why would I put it in a cup?
Fair enough.
Use your brain, bro.
CP, do you drink milk? And if so, why is Malo Gusto bad?
Yes, I do drink milk twice a day, but not like that. I put it in a cup.
Twice a day.
I put it in a cup.
Sorry, I'm not. No. Fuck us, though. I'm not weird. This is not weird.
I don't think it's weird. I think drinking milk is weird, though.
Out of the card is crazy. I'm sorry, bro.
You know what?
Out of the card is crazy.
I just don't like it. I don't know how people.
I
don't like the smell of it.
Listen. Then drink out of a cup, man. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
That's why you're a short king, Chris. That's why you're a short king, man. That's what I'm gonna say, man. That's why you're a short king, man. Drink your milk, man. Sorry, like 6'4" like me, man. Hold that, Chris.
all the milkmen out there, flawless. Big up you guys.
Hey yo.
Anyway.
Yo, Prime said I learned from the best.
No. Arsam, you don't know the lore. This man in Flawless' stream 3 years ago used to have nicknames because he was into Italian women. You know, the Tatas of Turin, you know what I'm saying? The Mills of Milan. That's what we used to say about this guy. That's what he used to be. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Ahmed knows too.
Go ahead, Curry.
Yeah, he can't even make a...
Let Curry cook on Malagusto. Let Curry cook on Malagusto. Let's move away from the milk.
He can't make a 5-yard pass. His shooting is ass. The best attribute he had last season was defending. It's not his crossing. It's not any of that. So if we're gonna lose him, I'm sorry. I'm fine with it. People saying he's a generational talent.
You can't throw away what he did last season.
No, I can if you're just performing your defensive duties. Josh can do that too. If you give me offense with your defense, in terms of getting better with your crossing, not being dog shit with these lofted crosses that fucking go to the other side of the corner flag every fucking game, and I can count on it. I should start making bets, even though I've never done sports betting in my life. That's a sure bet, dude. Malagusto making a fucking lofted cross that goes to the other side of the corner flag, and then Jadon Sancho has to try to get it every freaking game. I can bet money on that.
If we had a proper target in the box, I wonder what his...
No, we wouldn't. You know why? Because that lofted cross once again goes to the other corner flag. So how the fuck is a striker going to head that shit?
Nah, because you know what would happen? After 5 back crosses, Osimhen would slap him in the face, bro. So maybe that's what...
Sorry. Wait, what? Oh no, he took a screenshot.
Oh wow.
RSM. Damn, that looks bad. Actually, you know what? That is an elite meme. That would be an elite meme.
Yeah. Oh man.
That's an elite meme.
Yeah, so that's why I'm fine.
So this summer you'd be okay with selling him?
No, I'm saying next summer if he's a dog shit.
Oh, next summer. Okay, I agree with you.
That's the thing. I'll say he has one good season, one bad season. So I agree. I think
his best attribute is defending. But if Josh is giving me defensively and he's younger, then why aren't I taking that? And he's more versatile in the system. He can play right center back. He's a right back who's good defensively. So it's the same as Gusto. And then he can play more in the midfield. So he's more versatile for me than Malagusto is.
I don't disagree.
Right now, Malagusto is okay at left back. In his best days, he's okay at left back. In midfield, he's not that good. And as right back, he needs to be an overlapping right back who's crossing his ship, but his defending is good on a good day. So,
RSM, send me that on Twitter, please.
Yeah, 1 second.
Yeah, I mean, I can't disagree with that. I mean, I think that's a reasonable thing to think, just because, yeah, if Achimpong is giving me the same attributes, then sorry, Malo, if you can't step up, if you can't adapt to this system, then we got to move on without you. Because that's the other thing too. In terms of how we've recruited for the team, we go back to the recruitment. If we knew we were gonna have this manager, then why do you recruit a right back that can't invert, that can't do that role that is being asked of this type of football that you're asking?
We're going to get this manager. There's your answer.
I know, but this is the same thing we had with Nkunku, right? Like none of us thought that Nkunku wasn't gonna fit into this system until the system came, and now we're looking at Nkunku's not a right fit, Malagusto's not a right fit.
No. You can't. No. Sorry, Nkunku, that's a different case. You can't say he doesn't fit into the right system. He just doesn't fit into any system because his technical ability is what's shit right now. It's not his IQ, and his technical ability is what is shit. His penalty emphasizes how shit his technical ability is because that was a fucking telegraphed pen. Okay.
Yeah.
His best highlight for the past 3 months is when he did a roulette turn today, and did a roulette turn and got fouled. I was like, bro, wow, that's the best piece of skill I've seen in 3 months.
Right. I tweeted it out, right, and RSM replied. I laughed when he missed. I was out, right?
Gonna miss it, bro.
I was out in a.
Right? I thought, dude, we were saying that on stream. We're like, he's gonna miss that shit for free.
I was out watching the game.
That's crazy. We all said the same thing.
I was out watching the game in a pub, right? And like when he missed, I laughed, and people just stared at me.
bro.
Bro, guys.
But even okay,
I
since,
don't know
since
why.
we're on
I
Nkunku,
don't know why he's. I do know why he's taking it, but at the same time, Noni was on the pitch, and I trust Noni with penalties more than I trust Nkunku.
Because Nkunku's a penalty taker, and they give him confidence and stuff.
Yeah,
fucking
giving
I'm not
confidence
liking
thing.
this. I'm not liking this hating on Nkunku, bro. Guys, this is a conference league
He
game.
sucked.
You know what I mean? According to Marshall, according to Marshall, yeah, you know, Sanchez is going to increase his value because he's playing games. You know what I mean? He's not tanking his value. So therefore, you know, listen, Nkunku's playing games. So therefore, he's not to make sure we're not tanking his value either.
Yeah, but I can still complain about Sanchez while still understanding why he's on the pitch. And to be fair, to Nkunku, okay, hold on. You guys tell me. Let's look at this goal, and you guys tell me if. Listen, at the end of the day, we got the goal, but look at the positioning for Nkunku. And you know what? I give Nkunku the benefit of the doubt in this game, in isolation in this game, because he was making some runs, right? This is the second goal. James heads it down. Sancho runs with it. That is Sancho, right? Yeah. And Nkunku is right here, and he's making this run, which Sancho could have laid it off to him.
No, he couldn't.
But maybe he could.
I reckon it would have gotten said, look at that guy.
Bro, I don't know, bro. I don't know who you're thinking Sancho is.
Right
by
here.
the way.
Sancho is too slow. Remember, we're talking about that he's
But
like
as he releases it, Marshall, remember, those players are going to be running to intercept that. There's not
I'll be real. Sancho makes the correct pass. No one in their right mind, no one not named Kevin De Bruyne or Cesc Fabregas is passing that to Nkunku.
Yeah. I mean, he still made the right pass, right? It's a goal.
Yeah, there's not a single person in their right mind is thinking that he should.
No, Madueke, man, that's 4 from him.
I trust Madueke a lot.
Can I say why that's 4 from Madueke?
Right,
yeah, a better player can hit that first time. I'll be real. A better player can hit that first time.
You're just a hater, man.
No. Generally, you didn't take a touch there. That's not a warning, though.
Over criticism.
That's not even over criticism. That's just me being honest.
That is over criticism. That is over criticism. Did he get the goal?
The reason why I say that is because like if this was in because my thing is
where was this energy for Gallagher, bro? The over criticism on Gallagher.
If this was the EPL, you know what I mean? I don't think they give him a touchdown. That's the problem. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm giving that point of view. Listen, plus Madueke is my guy. Madueke is my guy. I don't care if you give me warning or no warning, mate. You know what I mean? I don't really care. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's gonna get his big boy yellow card now.
Descent. There's your yellow card. Collecting them like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, bro.
All right. I collected the best one yet, the red card. Whenever you're ready, you can give that to me.
Don't.
No. There we go.
I'm not ready. You don't dictate the game. I dictate the game.
All right, man. I dictate the game here, referee.
I'm the Pirlo. You're the Gattuso. You're just fucking crashing it for no reason.
Listen,
bro.
I'll crash it for no. Listen, I'm here to crash it. That's my job.
There you go.
But no. But like on a serious, that's not even me being like kind of like edgy with that. That's just me being honest. Like yes, it's a good goal, but I would like to hope this gives him the confidence to hit it first time, right? Because in the EPL, he's not going to be a part at that time, right? Because that's the only thing I'm saying. Because like imagine if he takes a touch there, for example, then you've got 2 men on him. Because that's what will happen in the EPL, sadly. Like a lot of these opponents will actually rush you the moment you get that. This is Legia Warszawa, guys. They're 5th in their league.
I understand, but like. Even in this situation, because you were just defending Nkunku, do you think Nkunku's doing the right thing in this?
I think the problem is Nkunku had, you know, when he was at RB Leipzig, he had players that could do that pass for him. At Chelsea, the only guy that can basically do that.
Wait, what player?
I think he played with Javi Simmons, if I'm not mistaken, and before that, he also was playing with Szoboszlai. This is RB Leipzig Szoboszlai.
All right, Szoboszlai's not giving you that.
RB Leipzig Szoboszlai. That's why I caveated it before I said it.
I don't know. Okay.
The one at RB Leipzig could actually do that pass, but not the one that's obviously there. Not the one that's at Liverpool currently. I'll be honest with you. But
wait, so Szoboszlai at Leipzig was known for making passes.
He could make a good pass like that one. The one like this where you could just thread it through here. You could do that one.
I feel like Sancho could do it too. He just opted not to. You have the space right here. Obviously, by the time he kicks it, the gap closes up a little bit.
Like
but
I think you guys also have to factor in, like,
confidence.
Why would you make that pass for him?
I think there is a hesitancy
whether you
to give it to Nkunku because of Nkunku's latest performances. Yeah, sure.
Why would you make that pass for him?
I'd rather pass to George.
It's a short pass versus a long pass.
You know, man.
Yeah,
and the
but
player's right in front of you.
But for me, I know he's gonna miss. So I'd rather make that pass.
See, that's the thing, though. You don't know that.
Oh, for me,
if players played with the assumption that this player is gonna miss and that, bro, we'd probably be in relegation right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
But you don't think players play off of who they
stop being negative, Mark.
You gotta create chances. Sancho's job is to create chances, not to pass it to who's gonna score the biggest goal.
Yeah, but let's not also be stupid and assume that players don't know that. Okay, you're in such bad form that you're going to miss this easy chance. Players do that, bro. We've seen it happen at Chelsea specifically. I'm
aware of that, but
we've seen Mount and Havertz just not pass to Lukaku after his interview, bro. We've seen stuff like this happen.
I'm aware of that. I am aware of that. But the thing is, they train together more than they play games together. Can we agree on that? So when they're training day in, day out, there's probably a level of trust that is there that they probably see Nkunku play. Because this is the thing. I don't want to, as much as I'm done with Nkunku and I'm fed up with the player and I just want him gone at the end of the summer, I'm also not going to sit here and pretend that he's actually a shit player. For me, I'm convinced that he's low on confidence and that he also doesn't want to be here. And that's why we're getting the results that we're getting. Whether you play him in the 9, the left wing, second striker, 10, you're going to get the same shit performance because he's just checked out. But I'm not going to pretend that Nkunku isn't a good player. I bet you in training, he's probably one of the best in terms of finishing and technical ability.
It's not about finishing.
Maybe not technical ability, but like just flair, like a nice player to watch. And maybe I'm miscategorizing him again. But I think I don't know. I think
Madueke's the obvious pass, by the way, because you can.
I do agree to Prime to an extent. I don't know if Madueke was the most obvious pass, but I do think also it's like
you can see it.
There's a level of trust there.
I agree. Like if that was like say Jackson instead of Nkunku there, I believe Sancho would make that pass.
He can see 3 players into the box.
Thank you, logic. I guess. If that's like a Jackson there instead, right? Or a Duran or a Sammy or an Osimhen or whatever, someone who you like, that would be a better. That I would be more angry if Sancho didn't make that pass. But knowing that it's Nkunku, who's on poor, like on terrible form,
clunky.
Like I'm not. Marshall, you can say that you don't know, but I'm not trusting him to make to take that chance and score, bro. I'm not trusting him. So passing it to Madueke does make more sense because players, I don't know. I don't
stay on to that.
I think that situation.
I got you.
That situation is more of an indictment of Nkunku and his poor form, as opposed to the decision from Sancho.
Go ahead, Chris.
I want to say quickly, I don't think it's as easy as simple as like to Nkunku, because you even got the other player, Sancho, can see running into Nkunku, and then you got the 2 players ready to intercept. While you got Madueke with all that space anyway, to be honest. So I don't think it's like fully down to like confidence of like, can Nkunku score it? Do I trust him? I just think there's more players around Nkunku when you got the easy option out there where Madueke has time to even have like a bit of a touch and shoot. So I think that's just correct decision in general anyway.
And I wanted to point out, like, let's look at the third goal as well, because this is after Nkunku misses the penalty, right? And
I thought he's going to miss that too.
Yeah, I think everyone agrees that we all thought he was going to miss it.
I mean, it wasn't the worst shot. It was low driven and powerful, but it's just.
No, it was just shit.
You think? I don't know. I don't think
it was powerful.
Yeah.
You don't
think the penalty?
Yeah.
No, it needs to be in the corner. That's only a good pen if the goalkeeper goes the other way. The moment the goalkeeper went the way, that's a terrible pen. It was the right height for him.
There was no power, no conviction with the pen.
Yeah.
I mean, I swear I saw power at least.
No, man, I saw power.
And Nkunku's supposed to be a penalty taker as well, by the way.
I saw power, conviction, and placement. I have to disagree on that one a bit.
No, there definitely wasn't, because if there was all 3 of those things, it would have gone in.
Not always, man. I think he did everything right for the pen. I just think the goalkeeper did a good job of just reading it.
No, he didn't. It was at the goalkeeper, bro. It was literally at the goalkeeper.
No, it was to the left. It was actually to the left of the keeper. The keeper had to make a good
dive. No. It was keeper's height.
Does this show us the pen, by the way?
No, I'm looking for it right now.
Okay.
The pen was shocking. It's a terrible pen.
I'm just gonna have to disagree with you on that one, mate.
I have to see it again because I swear there's definitely power into it, but I mean, accuracy.
I'll show you this again.
There was
What
power
are
and
we
placement.
arguing about?
The pen.
Oh, the pen.
Oh god.
No, it did not deflect, bro.
That was so bad.
This was so sad, bro.
I don't know what that
He's just
was.
a scrub, man. He is just an absolute.
Bro,
scrub.
that's how Ahmed would have hit him, man. Like, come on, bro, you're a professional.
You know me, man. Listen, I hear it straight and true. You know what I mean? That's like in life. If you know, you know. But
I'm gonna try to find a penalty.
But you definitely bend it left. I'm telling you that now.
I'm not really known to bend it left, I'm afraid. You know what I mean? I'm always a great shooter, man. You know what I mean? But you know, listen, shout out to bend it like Beckham. So if you know, you know. But you know, but listen, I just think for me, you know, Nkinku hate has gone too far. Listen, again, we need to realize again, you know, as Marshall says,
it's not gone far enough. If anything, people still make excuses for
we
this
need to
guy.
maintain his value. We need to
Ahmed.
Yeah, no, hold up. You know, Ahmed. By the way, your argument, if you say that to Marshall, he can't respond. He just has to hold that.
We need to maintain his value. We need to maintain his value. So that's it, man.
Ahmed, when you're saying that, when you're saying Nkinku is too far, I'll be real. Actually, never mind. This guy, let me not say that. I'll say that.
Wow, that's crazy. Wow. Okay,
right, I found a still frame of it. If anything,
it's not even. It's what I'm about to say. It's not even bad, but like Marshall might give me a yellow card, so I just say.
There you go.
Wow, scared of the referee.
Bro, this is, hey, listen, have an agenda, bro. It's an agenda, bro.
That's not even the right still frame, by the way. That's after he makes the save.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm saying. So Scott was just lying to us as usual.
No,
but even after he makes a save, look at what the goalkeeper is. Like he clearly, the ball bounced off of him. It was more closer to the middle than it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That shows to me that it was more closer to where the ball is placed because the goalkeeper is just about reaching at that point in time. So
no, he's not.
No,
again,
this is
after. This is after the save.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know about that. That's during the save.
You're just disagreeing to disagree, bro. What are we doing?
It's during the save.
Because then the penalty, they would have gotten a re-kick because these players came off their line. What are you doing?
But I'm saying that's during the pen in the sense that the goalkeeper's got the ball to hand is there at that point in time. So that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you are.
What is Blood Fam talking about?
I still believe it was power, but accuracy, no. But I guess we won't know because Marshall can't find the penalty.
No, it's just I can't. It's all.
Marshall ain't got the skills to pay those. You know, Marshall ain't got the skills.
I could put it on YouTube.
I mean, who's actually gonna be really clipping up a missed penalty anyway? To be honest.
Yes, they will. TNT Sports. TNT Sports will do that, Marshall. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I guess actually.
No,
but you can get banned for that shit. I got banned for like taking the piss out of Fred before.
Yeah, the streets will never forget.
You got banned on Twitter for taking the piss out of Fred.
This is years ago. Yeah, I posted a video just taking a piss.
This was years ago. This was BE pre-Elon first.
Yeah, but then Elon freed me, man. He freed me.
Yeah, and he freed other people.
Fuck Elon.
Hey, he freed my other account.
Why are you always talking about? Listen, yeah, this is a safe place. We don't talk about.
I've never spoke about Elon here.
Listen, stay safe. We don't talk about politics here. Please, can you stop, Chris?
I wasn't talking about politics.
It got mentioned, so I said,
yeah. Stop talking.
We're not talking about politics. We're talking about Twitter.
You're bringing up Elon Musk. Stop talking about politics, man. This is
man says don't talk about politics, but he'll call Marshall. Never mind. You're a guy who will cuss out America and American fans, but we say not to talk about politics. All right.
Okay. Look, fuck your discussion right now. Look at this penalty shot.
That's terrible, bro.
It's not good.
Okay, no, hold up. Go back a couple frames. I need to see where the keeper was before he dove.
Yeah, he didn't really go much for
just about there.
It was right next to him.
Yeah, just.
And then
I felt like it's on power. I stand by the power.
That's right next to it.
He didn't even really reach for it. Really,
you're not. Listen, as a goalkeeper, you're not stretching for that, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not stretching for that, bro.
I mean, he could have guessed the wrong way. He guessed.
And
the right
also,
way.
there's no power on that either. If Nkuku hits that.
No,
with
there's power to it. There's power to it.
There's no, not Marshall.
No, wait, hold on, Marshall. You know, wait,
trust
Marshall.
me,
Hold on, wait.
not
This is
enough
important.
power
This is
there.
important for Marshall's YouTube career.
There's power.
Marshall, you know how to go frame by frame on the YouTube video, right?
He does.
With the thing here, this thing. No, that's 5 seconds.
No,
I don't know how to go by frame by frame.
No,
Actually,
No, it's the period and then the little comma apostrophe thing at the bottom of your keyboard. It should let you go frame by frame on a YouTube video. There you go. Thank you. Look at where the keeper is. Look at where the keeper.
But I also kind of did.
What are you?
So the keeper moved. See, look, the keeper moved.
barely moved.
I see now.
He barely moved though.
Marshall, what the
Thank
fuck are you
Marshall,
doing?
there you go.
Learning, man.
There you
Look,
go.
look.
I didn't know I
the
could do that. That's crazy. Thank you, RSM.
You see
Yeah,
why I
that's the
say
thing.
as a
It's important for his
goalkeeper.
YouTube career. If you're trying to interrupt me.
See why?
Anyways,
You see,
look at where the
you see
keeper
why I say
barely.
as a goalkeeper.
Wait.
Like-
One at a time, guys.
Yeah.
RSM was
you see
saying
why I say as
something,
a-
and before
yeah,
you
go
interrupted
ahead.
him. Wait, go ahead, RSM.
No, all I'm saying is, bro, like it was not a good pen. The keeper barely really had to dive into the corner for it. Like look, his foot just now left the ground. His foot just now left the ground. His foot was planted for the majority of that. He's not a great keeper. Like he barely got to that, and it was a bad pen.
Yeah, I mean, who was?
That's why I said, bro. If like, so go
But
back.
there's definitely
to
power to it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's
no,
badly
those-
placed.
yeah, but no, go back
Just
to the.
stop-
Well,
I don't-
okay. Go before he hits it, right? Or go before he hits it.
Before who hits it? Nkunku or the keeper
Nkunku, yeah,
gets his gloves on it?
Nkunku.
Yeah, right there.
No, but yeah, if
frame
Nkuku
forward.
hits that with enough power, that beats the goalkeeper.
Bro, I don't know how much more power you
I
want.
doubt it.
to
No,
hit
I
with.
doubt it. The keeper.
No,
bro, the keeper-
This is where
No,
Prime's
I've
right.
played-
Like,
this is
no,
where it comes
wait,
back.
Wait,
bro,
I'm gonna
bro,
play it full
I'm-
speed. I'm gonna play it
No,
full
but
speed.
I've
You
been
tell
playing
me
full
if
speed.
it's not
I'm
powerful enough.
speaking. But I'm speaking as someone who's like I've been playing in goal. I know if you hit that with enough power, that beats you.
I've kicked a penalty. Like, what do we say? We've all played ball.
No,
But you, yeah, but you're not. You
Hold on.
don't know.
I'm gonna play it full speed. You guys tell me if it's powerful.
Guess
enough.
what, guys?
Bro.
I played in goal, so I
No,
know
no,
what it
I-
means.
But
Exactly.
I'm also someone who knows how to save pens as well, bro. You hit that with enough power, and that just beats you.
Oh
Bro.
my god! I even
guy's
know
a
how to
dickhead,
say
bro.
pens.
This guy's
You know what, guys?
Yeah,
Guess what,
yeah.
man? I'm a pen taker that knows how to score
Because
pens.
I
man.
don't know.
How about that?
You actually normally
All right,
just,
cool. You're a pen.
I'm
cool,
gonna put it at normal
but-
speed because it might be deceiving how powerful the shot is because it's in halftime speed.
The thing is,
but
okay.
it's a pretty powerful shot.
The
Let
thing
me
is,
just
the
play it
thing
real
is,
That's the
quick.
bare minimum anyway.
It's not a P roller. You feel me? It's not a P
Yeah,
roller.
it's-
But it ain't
I didn't
exactly.
say
powerful. He hits that
It's
I
not
didn't
gonna be
know.
like
I
a
never-
Gattuso rocket, but
I
it's,
didn't say it's a P roller. I didn't say it's a P
No,
roller.
no,
I
I'm
said
not
it was
speaking
more
to you.
power.
I'm not speaking to you, Prime. I'm just saying he got power on it. What failed him was the placement, bro. He put it too close to the
Yeah, the
keeper.
placement was not.
No, I think
And
no,
the-
I
I
agree
know,
with
but
Prime. I
even
think
if but even
think
if
it's
you
both.
hit it with more power, if even
I think
yeah,
if,
fine.
no, but I
You're
think
talking
if he hit it
about
with more power, I think if he hit it with more power, based on how he's functioning right now, he's skying it. He doesn't trust himself
probably.
with that level. Very few players are able to do placement and power. If he hit power, he's just inshalling it. So he said, "Okay, I'm gonna hit it.
yeah.
I'm
Reece
gonna hit
James
it
can do
semi."
placement and power.
It's like
But-
he
but
said, "I'm gonna
that-
hit it semi, with a bit of power, but I'm gonna go a bit more for placement." But he failed on the
yeah,
placement.
but RSM that wasn't placement though because he hit it right next to him.
We know.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying he attempted to go for a bit of power and a bit of placement, and he failed.
I mean,
But
turn off
he
my camera.
does not strike me as the type of player who's able to go just for power and score more often than
You
not.
went to drink milk. Is that why you turned off?
I don't know, dude.
It's like a
I don't
sip,
know.
man.
Wait, but my point in also bringing this up is that, like, let's look at the goal and how he reacted afterwards. It's like his positioning is also like out of sorts, and I don't know, man. Like, look at him right here. After the goal, where is he? I know he's
chilling
somewhere
by the
around
ref.
here.
Is he?
Yeah, I can't even find the guy.
Yeah,
he's
chilling by
marking
the ref.
the ref.
Yeah,
He's marking the ref. He's marking the ref. He's
Yeah.
marking the ref.
Yeah,
He's
so
marking
chilling
the
by
ref.
the ref.
He's asking for the ball here. It's like, what are you gonna do from here, though, bro?
Also, Sancho can't see you. What are you asking for the ball for? Look at Sancho's head. Bro, he doesn't have eyes on the back.
It's
Wait,
like,
where's it? Where's Nkuku in this frame?
what?
Right next to the
No one knows where Nkunku is,
Wait,
bro.
wait.
He's next to the
Hold
ref.
on. Wait, hold on. So that's Nkuku. In front of him is Tyreek George. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, Tariq George, KDH even, bro.
And
He had a
who's-
better
who's-
performance than him. We haven't even
Who's
talked
in
about
front-
KDH.
who's
We
in
should
front
talk
of
about him.
KDH? Who's in front of KDH?
None.
Who's
Nani.
That's Nani.
So, fuck's sake,
The entire forward line is right now.
bro. whatever.
You know the worst part is
no, I have to disagree.
Okay, here we go.
Here's
Here we go.
Nkunku Glazer.
Again.
Good defense league here.
Again.
Oh wait, Ahmed, before you go, right?
Bro, are you good, bro?
Before you go, why are you
the NDL over here showing up the NDL.
Why are you taking up Marshall's like role? Because he's the Nkunku stand, not you. Why are you doing this, bro? Please.
When have I been standing in Nkunku? I feel like Panathinaikos was the last time I even defended Nkunku.
No, do you know what is Prime? Do you know what Prime? Do you know what Prime? Do you know what Prime? Because I was told that we need because Prime
he is going off camera to sip the milk. Confirmed. He's killing me.
Just drink.
Why do we have to look behind the screen, guys? Let's just focus on.
So do you know what is Prime? Yeah, I was told, players need to play to maintain their value. So I'm trying to explain why he's on the pitch to maintain his value. So
I mean, he's got to play.
And for me personally, I look at this. Remember, Nkunku, he's a known box crusher there, right? You know what I mean? He's waiting for. You can see there's 4 man in front of him, pause, right? Or 3 man, sorry, in front of him, pause, right? And he's thinking, if that gets blocked, I'm there. It's barbecue chicken. It's breakfast.
No. He's thinking, give me the ball. Look at his body gesture right here. He's asking for the ball. His hands are open.
And to be
what
fair,
are you gonna do from here, brother?
To be fair, let's think about it. Let's think about it. Even if he does that thing, reverse angle to himself, he can hit that shot into that section over there.
You already got Achipong right there. This is my issue though. Achipong is already covering the cut back there.
No. Achipong's covering the near post cut back, where the goalkeeper is, right? The bar post is being covered by both Madueke and KDH. If you reverse it into Nkunku can hit the far post as well. So listen, again, come on, lads. Be smart. Think harder. Think smarter. Work hard.
You know what, Ahmed? You know what, Fairs? Because Marshall would have used the exact same argument earlier in the season. Fairs, man, that's fine. You're doing your job, Fairs.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I don't know why you're trying to gaslight the chat into thinking I've been defending Nkunku all season when I haven't.
I didn't say you've been defending Nkunku all season.
I have been his biggest critic.
You've not been his biggest critic. You have not.
Yes, I have.
You have his biggest critic. You have not. You have not. No, you haven't. No, you haven't.
When was the last time I've defended Nkunku? Enlighten me, guys.
Okay, but no, you said you've been its biggest critic. You have not been his biggest critic, bro.
No, you've not been his biggest critic.
I would like to raise my hand. That's me.
You have not
been, I would like to raise my hand.
Bro. Just in terms of Casually FC, top 3 here is me, Scott, and CP. Let's not do this, please.
Like, I feel like the last good game I praised Nkunku on was probably Burrow. That's it.
That's fine.
Even when he scored a hat trick against Noah, I criticized his hat trick.
That's fine.
I can't remember the last time I praised him.
But you saying the last time you criticized him and saying
okay, fair enough. I see what you're saying, guys. Never mind. I take it back.
The last time I praised him.
I'm one of his biggest critics.
I do, bro. The last time I praised him was I don't think I have. I'll be real, because he was injured a lot last season. So I probably haven't.
I think I
Barrow was the last one for me.
Pre-season, mate. Oh no!
Actually, no, that's not true. There was a game he played left wing, and I was like, he looked decent. He looks like he's improving.
Yeah,
Arsenal.
No, you're right. Sorry, Man City first game of the season. I praised him because he was.
If I may, I have been.
No, you may not.
Listen, if I may, I have been in Nkunku's greatest shoulder. You know what I mean? I've been his #1 soldier.
Nkunku's greatest shoulder. Oh my god.
Oh, I thought you said I have been in Nkunku's greatest shoulder, and I'm like, oh, no wonder you're weighing him down.
No. I'm in Nkunku's greatest soldier. And you know,
Ahmed, why are you employed by Nkunku Vaughn?
The reason why ever since Sanchez Vaughn got brought by Marshall. Got brought by Marshall.
Not like middle name Vaughn.
You know what I mean? So Sanchez Vaughn got brought by Marshall, and he's been making these excuses. So Nkunku said,
wait. You repeat
Sanchez Vaughn.
Sanchez.
You know what I mean? He says that Sanchez needs to play.
When you guys over criticize him, yes, I defend him.
Oh yeah, he does say that. Okay, yeah.
I bring it
now.
back.
So now Nkunku Vaughn.
Marshall's part of the SDO. I hear it, bro.
Yeah. So Nkunku now, yeah, it's called Nkunku Nation, right? You know what I mean? Now I'm a part of the Nkunku So now I have to do this job for him now because he's giving me a few.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
I have to, man, because
if you at least one thing, as bad as he is, one thing that Robert Sanchez gives me that Nkunku doesn't is effort. That's the thing. Once the effort goes out the window, I can't defend you anymore, bro. Nkunku doesn't try.
I don't care about that, about trying or not. All I care about as Sanchez won, is that maintaining value. I'm trying to maintain 40 million here.
I'll be real, Marshall. If you're shit, you're shit. I don't care about your effort. I'll be so real. With Sanchez, we're saying he's making
but he's shit and he isn't even trying.
He
thinks he's layout. He thinks he's him. He thinks he's him. Bro, you ain't him.
No, and Nkunku doesn't think it's him. And Nkunku just wants to leave. And you know what? I respect it, bro. You're not doing.
Nkunku does think he's him. Man wanted the ball right. Let me show you.
Hold on.
I swear to God.
And Nkunku just wants to leave and collect his bag. I hear it. Is what it is.
Man wanted the ball here and said, "Yo, I can score from here. Give me the ball." After missing a penalty, he thinks he's him.
If you're telling me effort means you're making 3 Superman saves per game, fuck off. Sanchez, fuck off.
Hey, guess what? Guess what, though? In the last 8 games, there's been 6 clean sheets. Sanchez hasn't been costing me games. Lack of goals from a certain Nkunku has been.
Why have we had 8 clean sheets?
He just said that. He just said that. I mean, he just said that.
No, I'm just stating the facts. Has he or has he not kept 6 clean sheets?
No, he hasn't. He has not. No,
I could have. No,
he hasn't.
Oh, okay. So when he made the save against Yu Ming Hung, we're not giving any credit to Sanchez, right?
When he made the save against you?
Sun Ming Young.
Wait, pause, please. Wait, Scott, pause. You want to give Sanchez credit, yeah, for what he did against Spurs. But you can't give him fucking credit for what he did.
No, what's question?
What credit? He didn't even fucking score.
Wait.
You guys literally say, hey, Sanchez, he did it. You know what? I'll use Prime's argument. Sanchez did his job. He didn't make a great save. He just did his job. And Nkunku, you're a striker. Do your job. Oh, you can't score a goal? Fuck out of here, man. Can't even score a penalty against a fucking Polish side. Can't score a Polski smack penalty. Fuck out of here, bro.
He's not
a striker. But Pedro Neto can put in more of a shift. Tariq George is not a striker, but Tariq George can be a better striker than him.
Shift! Hi! He's not a 10. He's a 10.
Oh, for once you're using your microphone. Wow.
Hold on. To be fair,
Come on.
Ahmed. To be fair, I'll defend Sanchez here. Just like Nkunku's not a striker, Sanchez is not.
Can I ask a question?
I'll defend Sanchez.
Marshall, why did you call him Yu Ming Hung?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did I really say that?
I heard that.
Hey,
I was like, that's what, bro. That's why
I didn't even notice.
That's why I was
messed up his word though, right?
No.
When you said it.
Yo, I gotta go back and clip that thing. I gotta go back and clip that. Slip of the tongue. I talk to Jacob too much. I be talking to United's first too much, bro.
Wait, are you saying it was a Freudian slip?
A Freudian slip. A Freudian slip.
How'd you know what it's not?
Hey, well, we know what we don't want to
Hey,
know.
stop asking questions. Stop asking questions. Oh man, I don't even know what started this fucking shit, bro.
It was you,
man. I just wanted to say, man, Nkunku Nation. We will maintain value here.
The thing is
we will maintain value here. We will maintain value here. By the sword, I promise you. It's not a sword. No, it's like you see this one.
Broomstick, bro. It's
no. You see this one here? You see what I've got over here? It's the old version. It got broken.
It's a bar, bro. Oh my God.
Why haven't you sword, man? Why haven't you sword? Did it get taken?
I don't want to demonetize the Marshall stream. You know, every pound helps. Every dollar helps. Every dollar helps, man. I'm not here to
smash the like buys if you're entertained. You see, all my words are fucked up.
Listen, as I said, man.
You don't want to demonetize the stream, but Marshall's demonetizing my faith in him because he rates Sanchez.
I don't even rate Sanchez, but when you literally come on the stream and say, when he did the save against Sun Heung-min, whatever, You literally want to come in here and say, "Oh, he's just doing his job." But then when I'm saying, "Yo, that was a shit penalty," Ahmed wants to come out here and say it was a great save from the keeper. What are we doing, bro?
Did I say that?
I thought it was nice.
Yeah, you literally did. We want me to go back to the Tottenham stream? You said like it wasn't that great of a save. It was a good save.
I don't remember that Tottenham save, but knowing Sanchez, it probably wasn't a good save.
Yeah, it was a decent save.
Because
Like, we can't even admit that Sanchez is a good shot stopper.
Because Sanchez is the sort of person.
He made a meal out of it. It was a good save, but he made a bit of a meal out of it.
How do you not make a meal out of it, bro? How do you save that and not make a meal out of it?
Sanchez makes saves.
You dive straight to the ground. He dives in a rainbow arc. Why?
The way Sanchez makes saves, he makes it so that like it looks.
He does this, bro. He does this.
No another goalkeeper that does this, by the way.
That's all I'm saying, CSC for life. But then when they don't want to give him credit, when they didn't want to say like it was an all right save, I'm like, wait a minute, come on, let's have an actual conversation about the football. That's the only thing I do. And then I'm supposed to be the Sanchez dick writer.
I thought it was a good thing.
Yeah, okay. RSM, you did, but Prime definitely didn't say it was a good save. I'll go back and check.
I know, I'm saying, but just let me. Another goalkeeper that does stuff like this, Aaron Ramsdale. Well, they'll make saves and they'll make it look better than it actually is. The acrobatic save, they'll make it look extravagant. These are shit that you guys rate because they make good. Make a good save.
I'm not saying that about that save against Son, though. I'm not. I think it was a good save. I don't think he made a meal out of it either. I think you need to do whatever the fuck you can to get that save. It's not easy to save.
I'm talking about in general. Sanchez does this.
Yeah, in general, I'll give you that, but not for that.
I'm not
Not
just
for that
talking
one.
about that Son save. That Son save, I don't even remember because I don't care about Spurs. But in general, Sanchez does this.
Can I just pivot slightly, if you don't mind? Let's pivot from the Sanchez conversation.
Sure.
I'm getting a bit bored of this. Ahmed, speak.
Ahmed, James, bro. You're captain.
Before I speak on
Let's not speak on don't do that. Pivot to KDH because honestly, CP, you're here, Prime, you're here. Speak on your boy KDH because he had a good performance today. Probably his best performance for the Chelsea.
Okay, so what I'm just gonna say. Come on, wait.
Yeah.
I'm gonna help you out here. I'm gonna help you out here. Listen, wait. I'm gonna help you out here. KDH today found his level. Conference League is KDH's level. That's what it is, man. You know,
bro, it just took him a long time to find his level because he went through all the group stages, was nowhere to be found.
Well, he's found his level at last, and you
the
know
Polish
what, man?
League?
Yeah, man, I'm happy for him. And I'll be honest. If you look at Legia Warsawa, Panathinaikos have been a harder team that we faced.
The Polish Crusaders, is that what we're calling KDH, bro?
Listen, yeah, man, that's what we're calling them. And I want to pivot really quickly here on the Ahmed speak on Sancho's performance. Sancho found his level 2. Don't worry, man. I can't wait when the club plays that 5 million DI and you're crying because we lost a bum that's in my football club playing the left wing. You know what I mean?
Do that.
You know what I mean?
Okay, he glazes Sancho, I guess.
You know what I mean? But listen, at the end of the day, boys, yeah, KDH has found his level. He had a good performance.
True.
But
But yeah,
Scott, how about you go fuck yourself, Scott? Yeah? Lovely. You know what I mean?
Crazy. But speaking of KDH, it's weird that you're saying that he's my boy when you've defended Nkuku more than I've defended KDH. But whatever. Anyways, KDH.
That is not true at all.
It is true.
Whatever. Cool.
Not true at all.
I remember earlier in the conference league, in the league phase, you were slandering KDH, but I wasn't speaking on it in Nkuku.
That very clip that we're talking about, where KDH was like one of the first videos I released, that was probably the last time I defended Nkunku.
Okay, cool, whatever. Anyways, KDH, he had a good game today, just like he had the last game he played, which I don't even remember, escaped my mind. But he did play well today.
Brentford, last game.
Yeah, he did play well today. But again, like I said, I've been saying, he is good as a player. He is Premier League level, regardless of what people think. But again, like I said, when we signed him in the summer, he's going to be gone again. He's going this summer, I believe. So that's why when he's had bad games, I haven't been freaking out or slandering him because I know he's just going to get flipped, and I'm not that bothered by it. It is what it is.
I know where you stand, Prime, and I don't know about flipped because I don't think we're making profit off of KDH.
How much did we buy him for?
40.
35.
He was a £40 million player, I'm pretty sure.
30.
30?
30. Bro, we can get like 45, 50 for him.
Let me find this.
bro.
No,
He's an English.
no, it's
bro,
Man City. Sorry, that's Kevin De Bruyne.
Okay, yeah.
Wrong-
So
wrong
35. We can get like 50. But he's an English midfielder. He will win a European trophy. He's achieved Champions League football. Like, we can sell him for money. We definitely can.
30 million pounds. Okay, yeah, you guys are right.
We can get back 30 back easily.
Definitely sell him for
But
money.
okay, I know where Prime stands with it. Chris, do you think in the summer KDH gets sold or he's kept as a utility player?
He gets sold because we got Santos and hopefully Lavia stays as well for another year. There is another midfielder coming in, right? I'm thinking of, but I can't remember his name. Yeah, like I don't understand why we actually. I said it from the start as well. Like when we talked about, I don't understand why we brought him in because I felt like we had Santos and all that, but Santos got loaned out. But yeah, he gets sold. I think.
I feel like the club wants to sell him. I feel like they might keep him as a utility.
He's
player.
actually improving. Like
and he has been improving.
I think
nothing crazy to write home about. I don't think he's still.
He's been performing like a squad player for Chelsea, which is fine. I don't mind him performing to this level.
And he's not on Ruben Loftus-Cheek's salary, so it's not a problem for the board either.
Yeah, but the thing is, should he stay or go? Like, what? So next season we'll have Caicedo, Enzo, Santos, Lavia, but he doesn't stay fit.
There's another one I think.
Ugochukwu, maybe.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
Isugo.
I don't think Ugochukwu will stay, but is there not another?
Isugo's here next season.
Isugo. So yeah, that's 5 already, not including Ugochukwu. There's no space for Lavia, there's no space for KDH.
You don't think with all the tournaments we're in, UCL, well,
wow,
UCL, whatever.
Well, when I look at the positions, KDH plays in, if I look at the 10 area, that's covered. If I look at the number 8 area, you have that covered in Enzo and Santos. There's no space.
Yeah, we don't.
But
we don't.
He's been more of a utility. You've seen him play at left wing. You've seen him play he's versatile.
When
versatile to Maresca.
Yeah, no. We need to.
He's played on the wing in the Conference League, but if we get Champions League or even Europa League football next season, like our wingers that we will have, at least as of right now on paper, is Madueke, Esteval, Sancho, Neto. Palmer maybe at times if needs be. What's his name? Tyreek George. What is that? 6 already? 5, 6? Do you include Palmer? That's more than we don't need to keep KDH. We can sell him. It's fine.
I'm in agreement. Like you, bro. What? Don't keep KDH. Like he should go next season. His position in the squad is taken by Santos the moment Santos gets into this team.
Yeah.
So he's pointless. He's pointless.
And plus, the English quarter thing is covered anyway with.
We got more than enough of those.
Yeah, we have more than enough. So
we got so many, bro.
Look, it is what it is. You know,
we got
he'll go to West Ham. He'll ball at West Ham.
Good, bro.
I say we've got. It's not even an English thing. It's you just have to be You have to be. You have to come from academy. So I think Sanchez counts as well. Obviously, if he gets sold, then it is what it is.
Oh God, no.
Like Tosin would count. Tosin Colwell.
Reece James counts.
Lavia counts.
If we get what's his face?
You have Ashley that counts. Tyreek George counts. You have more than enough.
Count.
Palmer.
Delap would count.
Delap. The thing is it's weird because
I whispered Delap. Okay.
I think it's weird because I don't know if under 21s don't count towards registration. So like Achimpong and George wouldn't need to be registered. At least I don't think they count towards registration. I don't quite know how it works, but I've still forgotten. But yeah, like the point of this is like there's no point. KDH doesn't need to be here next season. He has no position in the squad. Like
we still have Bettinelli.
Oh, true. So, CP,
we have more than enough on the English quarter. We're fine.
CP, as the probably of all of us on the panel, the biggest defender for KDH. What do you think of his performance today, and also what do you think he gets sold in the summer, or do you think he stays as a utility player?
You see how he tried to brand me with it, and now he's trying to brand me.
I know.
Well, it's both of you. I said both of you.
KDH is great soldier, man.
No, all I gotta say is, man, the KDB of the UCL, man. You know what I'm saying? Respect him. You know what I'm saying? And if he doesn't play in the finals, that's going to be very KDB-esque too, because KDB doesn't play in Champions League finals too.
I'm gonna need him to play in the final, but produce a masterclass.
Hey man, so shout out to the KDB of the UCL, man. He did his job, man. He did more than Nkunku, got a penalty, and decided Nkunku fuck it up for us, and then Nkunku did his job too. You know what I'm saying? So it was all part of the master plan. Like I said, he's a squad player. That was his job. He's doing what he's... Dude, we literally said, me and Prime, he's a guy who keeps the ball ticking. That's his only job, and that's what he does. That's all I need from him. He was here for the Conference League, win the Conference League, then go to West Ham. There you go. Thank you for your service, man.
Yeah, man. I have to say, man. Obviously, thank you for your service to KDH. Great work from you. You know, he's a good foot soldier. That's what we always talk about. You know, foot soldiers that can do a job, man, extremely well. But that's why, man, Nkunku needs a foot soldier like KDH, man. That's all running around for him. You know what I mean? That's it.
Listen,
man, give it up. Just give it up, bro.
Listen. But you know who. Listen, you know, I want to hear from Prime to talk about, you know, his fellow black brother, you know, his fellow Niger man, Madueke. What are your thoughts on him?
I thought you were gonna say Tosin.
Why are we gonna talk about Tosin for?
That
guy. What does that guy do for my team?
From Nigeria?
What does Tosin do for my club, bro? What does he do for my club?
Give us threaded passes that we didn't take advantage of today.
It's fine. Don't get triggered. We know.
He's uncle, okay? Don't diss uncle like that, okay? He's the uncle.
Yeah, respect uncle, bro.
Don't diss uncle.
Shut up, uncle. Respect your elders. Respect your elders. Respect your elders, Ahmed. Respect your elders. Respect your elders.
Uncle on my club. Get uncle on my club, bro.
Respect uncle.
You know what I mean?
Anyways,
Ahmed,
I don't know why you got triggered. We know Marshall. They all look the same. But with Madueke, sorry. No, yeah, he's booking me.
You deserve that, I can't lie.
You see what I said?
Honestly, I was thinking about doing the red, but I was like, you know what?
You see what I said earlier, that I'll hold back on the yellow. I deserve that. I know.
You deserve that, sure.
Regardless.
Go ahead. Sorry for the noise.
Madueke, he had a good game when he came off the bench. He had a very good impact, bro. And especially when we got the first goal, allowed the floodgates to just pour open from Warsaw. So yeah, Madueke, good.
You see, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. You know, he be calling that you call that nerd culture, yeah, but that shit trash. No one watches Dragon Ball Z. You know what I mean? It's an old man series.
I'm not even gonna play the whistle. I'm not even gonna play the whistle.
Listen,
I'm not even gonna play the whistle. This is where I draw the line.
Listen,
this is where I draw the line.
Read.
That's where I draw the line. Read nothing. Read nothing. Do not disrespect.
Read
the reason I have my name.
Wait, Marshall.
Yo, nobody.
No, DBDX.
The entire country of Mexico would disagree.
What does
with you,
DBDX stand for?
Dragon Ball
DX.
Dragon Ball Z, man. Shout out DBZ.
Shout out DBDX, which never came out because I never made it.
Let's bypass that geek. Madueke, yeah, he had a good game. He should have, if he had taken the penalty, he would have got a hat trick. To be fair, but
yeah, that's a good point. Actually, I didn't think about
that.
Yeah,
like again, this is something that he needs. He's getting a bit of confidence now, just coming back from his injury, and he's going to be important for us to get top 4 because he is one of.
I can't lie, you're 100% right. Yep.
What?
That he's going to be important for us to get top 4.
Yeah, because his goals. Like,
Prime, hold up. I just connected dots. The reason, do you protect Sanchez because he's like Frieza with the fade? Is that why you protect him?
No.
What? Oh
no, I've explained this.
Okay, sorry.
Frieza's.
I don't know why. Wait, what was your explanation for protecting Sanchez?
It's only when you guys over criticize him. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So when you say the Tottenham save against Son isn't a good save, it's like, all right, come on now. Now we're being unfair.
I don't think I have to over criticize him, but fine. So is that in the same way? Hold on. So why is it when Ahmed gets dunked on stream, why don't you protect Ahmed? Why don't you protect Ahmed? Why would you
Because
protect
half
Ahmed?
the time the criticism he gets is merited.
I'm-
Wait a minute.
I'm-
Wait a minute. No. You know what? No. You know what? This is for Ahmed's honor. I'm giving you a red card for fraudulence.
Why?
Because I saw the tier list you did on Carefree Lewis, and you're saying I don't defend Ahmed when you literally tiered him at whatever level he was tiered at? Ahmed, you can stand up for yourself, bro.
Oh, thank you very much. Much appreciated, firstly. Listen, I'm just, the reason why I was cooking Dragon Ball Z, you should know this, I'm not particularly a fan. That's the only series of all the animes that I'm not a big fan of, personally. I don't know what it is, man.
That's crazy because it inspired your series that you're into.
Listen,
but okay.
Legendary, shout out to him.
Inspired that, but yeah. No,
He may have inspired my goat, but listen, my goat created better. That's what I'm gonna say. But it is what it is. But you know what it is though. I don't know, man. I'm just tired right now. Really, I'll be honest. Chelsea did the job they needed to do, and I'm happy for them. And no matter what, hopefully you can score a goal against Ipswich for me, please. Okay, if you can do that for me as well, that'll be a bonus. Because right now, that's to be for all of our, in terms of like our attack in general, we need guys that can score for us, and you know this too.
I gotta find receipts real quick. Go ahead.
Alright, first.
Madueke or KDH, whichever one.
Actually,
there was who else played today? Reece James. Okay, the Reece James criticism of midfield because people are so.
There's no the criticism is just stupid because we need to realize, guys, the reason why he's playing there. Like, I don't understand the logic for me of why he's playing there. It's always been sound. We know why he plays there. It's a body issue. It's not about whether or not he can, if he's good at the position or not. It's more so to do with his body. We need this guy's body to be, surviving.
Hey, listen, it's an issue with not just one body, but two, if you know what I mean.
I agree. And like the sooner people, and the thing is, for me,
Mr. Romeo Lavia.
You know what I mean? Like,
true.
Also, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And the sooner people realize that now, bro, the better. Like, generally, the sooner people realize that is generally is the better. You know, it's like RSM right now. RSM's got like some, he's got an Assassin's Creed. What's it called? Yeah, a picture right now, right? Shout out to Assassin's Creed. That's my series. That's one of my favorite games. Yeah, but like RSM, man, he ain't got the skills to pay the bills, innit? So
what is it in reference to legitimately what?
Nothing. Just in general. Okay. I'm such a troll. No, but seriously though, like I think from a Chelsea perspective, what you want to do is the following: make sure these guys now that have got a bit more of the juice play again on Sunday and are actually like your stars, right? And that is just obviously a Madueke, maybe a Tariq George starting. Stanley Jack Palmer's gonna play.
A Tyreek Madueke, Jackson Palmer, energized Enzo Caicedo. That might get us across the line. That's
is something I look at. Yeah,
that's the team.
That's what I'm saying. That's a front foot I look at and I'm thinking that can work.
Are you talking about against Ipswich or in general?
Ipswich. That's the next game.
Ipswich.
Oh, against Ipswich. Yeah, no, I will.
I think against Ipswich you can get away with that.
That's what you need to make happen.
Wait, oh man, sorry, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done, bro.
Oh, cool. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. I thought you were still in the flow. Also, Marshall, you're a fraud for removing me because I wasn't the one that said that I like to defend people when they get unfairly criticized. You're the one that said that. So again, what I said still stands.
You said why I don't defend Ahmed, and I said the criticism is merited. Meanwhile, when you did have the chance to defend Ahmed in his honor, what did you do? You put him in agenda-driven category.
Did you watch the stream?
Of course I did.
Yes. Do you know why I put him in there? Because he does have agendas. However, what I also said on the stream, Ahmed, to you is that you have one of the best channels when it comes to transfer news. I spoke about how great your channel is. I told people to subscribe numerous times. My point still stands. By the way, I never said that I like to defend people that get unfairly criticized. You said that. So again, why don't you defend Ahmed on these streams when he's getting dunked on?
You said agenda-driven. Nope.
You said it. Why you like to defend people? That's why you defend Sanchez, but you don't defend Ahmed when it comes to him. So you see, Ahmed again. I'm defending you here.
Based on your tier list, Rory Jennings is better than Ahmed. That's fraudulent. Because I've never said that I defend people when they get unfairly criticized. You did, but it's cool. The people will know. The people will know.
People, you do. People, check out Mike's channel.
When given the chance to defend Ahmed, you didn't do it. That's all I'm saying.
I did defend Ahmed because I said how great his channel is, but he does have agendas.
Yeah, he ended up on agenda-driven.
Yes, because he has agendas, but he has a great channel. Because he's great when it comes to transfer news, which most people will agree with me, no? You're saying, but anyways, I'm still
can
right.
Can we talk back on the football, please?
I'm still right about what you're doing, Marshall. But yeah, well, in terms of the football, people who are I'm right, but people who are getting onto Reece are not getting onto Reece. They're getting onto Maresca about playing Reece in midfield. If this was Tuchel doing this, you guys wouldn't have a problem, bro. Tuchel played Ruben Loftus-Cheek at wing back, Pulisic at wing back, Cho at wing back, Ziyech at wing back. No one complained. People praised when Tuchel did it, even though the only reason Tuchel was doing that was because we didn't have wing back depth. We don't really have. I
remember seeing Mountain DM, bro.
We don't have the midfield depth now, so that's
why
Loftus-Cheek
at centre back one time.
That's why, he did that in the Carabao Cup game. But that's why we have to play Reece in midfield at times because we don't have the midfield depth. I don't know why people are complaining when Reece has been fit for 17, 18 games on the bounce now.
Yeah,
Reece hasn't got an injury this calendar year, bro. Why are we?
And that's on the management of the minutes.
Yeah, why are we taking that that's likely? And that's a good thing of Maresca because when you look at Leicester last season, Ricardo Pereira, who we know as an injury-prone player, he stayed fit, I think, basically the whole season last year. And he was doing this inverted role, playing in midfield at Leicester. So if doing this for a season or maybe two, doing this midfield thing is going to help Reece and he will stay fit consistently for us, people just stop complaining, please. Because if he's doing this up and down bombing fullback thing, he could break down again, even though he's had the surgery. And then people would cry about Maresca that's destroyed Reece. So,
but forgetting the fitness stuff as well, he's playing well.
Yeah. He's been putting in a shift in the midfield.
Brilliant shift. Even against Mbuemo for Brentford. That was a brilliant battle between the two, but Reece got the better.
And people, oh my God. And this is because I've been watching actual commentators and so on and so forth. They were literally saying, why is he putting him in left back? He got cooked by Mbuemo. I was like, what game did you watch where Mbuemo was constantly a threat outside of maybe two chances? Outside of those two chances, bro, Reece locked up Mbuemo at left back. What are we talking about?
Mbuemo's one of the top goal scorers in this league.
He is.
Reece more or less pocketed.
Reece was good, bro. Reece was good,
but kept him quiet. I don't get.
It's just that the fact that people have a serious adversity.
People love to highlight the negative.
Not only that. Not only that. It's people hate Maresca one, and people hate the idea of inverting. And so when they see Reece in the midfield, they automatically assume he had a bad game and that he didn't do well. But that was not the case. But because of their agenda, they can't see past that.
Bro,
Reece did a good job, bro.
Think about how quiet they were today, Legia Warsaw. There's a reason for that. Because they weren't running us rampant through the midfield. Reece was there to control the game. He's good. He's a good... Here's the thing. I understand that Reece's best position is probably at right back. That is probably right wing back even.
I would argue...
Before you go, Arsene, real quick. I'm just trying to make a point here, right? I would say that's probably his best position in his career, where his most output, his most electric. He was one of the best in the world at it, right? But because of the way his injuries have played out, we all understand that putting him in that position and asking him to have these explosive runs and bomb forward and track back and all that stuff, it might be too much for his hamstrings. I'd rather have that quality of player on the pitch than not. Then risk him playing him at right wing back and risk him getting injured than just not having him in there at all. You know what I mean? If I play him at right wing back and he gets hurt, then I don't have Reece for the rest of the season. Whereas I can have Reece, I just can't play him at right wing back. Maybe he doesn't give me the same things he gave me at right wing back, but he at least is on the pitch and he's a good player that he can do a shift and be effective in the game. I'd rather that.
Not just that. Reece, actually no, RSM was supposed to speak. Sorry.
No, the only thing I was going to say is that I agree that I think Reece James' best position at one point in time was right back, but he is no longer the player who can bomb forward and bomb back all game. He just physically can't do that. There are times in games when you see him do that, but full 90-minute shifts of running back and forth, he can't do it anymore. And if we have to sacrifice that to have his quality on the ball and still have his defensive qualities by having him invert, then I'm fine with that, because you see the difference that Reece makes when he's on the field. You see that. Like, we lose. What was it? I think we lose. What game did he get a free kick at the end of the game? We lose that if he's not there.
Oh, that was Bournemouth, I think.
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Bournemouth, yeah, bro.
Bournemouth
We lose that match if he's not there. Yeah, we lose that if he's not there. And this is my whole point. It's like, if we have to play Reece in the midfield to have some of his qualities, because when he's injured we literally have none, then it's unfortunately, with the career path that he's taking because of injuries, this is where we've landed at. And it just is what it is. But people are blaming Maresca for it. People are doing this. Like, I think a big part, and I'm sure of what they said to Maresca when he came in is, what are you going to do and how are you going to utilize Reece to be able to keep him on the pitch for as long as possible during the season?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
go ahead.
We're
Brian.
not the Conference League. This is the thing we should be winning. Cool. We're not gonna have. I mean, we shouldn't have an opportunity like this again, where we have a competition where we can do as much experimentation or rotation as we like and still win. So the fact of we're trying Reece in midfield and it's working, that means next year, if we're in the being in the Champions League, and say Enzo has an injury or Caicedo has an injury or whatever, it doesn't mean we're just scrambling to put Reece in midfield without actually seeing it. Because the last time Reece played in midfield, barring this season, was when he was at Wigan in the Championship, which is like 4 years ago now.
Mm-hmm. No, not even. Under Tuchel, there was one game where he played in midfield.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, yeah. I've been consistently, but yeah, under Tuchel.
Yeah.
So like,
no, I know what you mean. Yeah, consistently.
Reece is a world class. Reece is not just a world class rider. He's a world class
player,
footballer.
Yeah.
Meaning, he can play left back and still ball out, or play right back, or play in the right of a back three, or play at wing back, or play in midfield and still ball out. He's a world class footballer. You don't have many of these in the world anymore who can do this to a high level. So yes, I would rather Reece play at right back and be there. But if there's injuries or there's certain situations where he has to, like if we play Barcelona next year in the Champions League, as great as Cucurella is, bro, I'd play Reece at left back because I'd want to stop Yamal. I'm just saying. Like, we have a weapon like Reece and we shouldn't try and use him in different positions to see if he can actually do it. Like, people are crazy.
And the thing is to add on to that, because you had mentioned, this is a good point. It's also not like we're never going to see him play right back either, right? It's just one of those things that Maresca said tongue-in-cheek. He imagines him in that position, like he's seen him play. And one of the things that Maresca likes a lot about players is their multi-versatility. I think he also likes the fact that Reece is he's a versatile player, and he can play a center midfield and do a job. And he likes that about Reece, and he has seen games where he can probably see Reece play in that position. Just like there are probably going to be games where when Lavia's fit, when Enzo's fit, Caicedo, so on and so forth, I could see him playing in that right back position. And inverting, or maybe not even inverting, because Maresca's also not close to the idea of overlapping. He just doesn't use it all the time. He doesn't like it. But when the game calls for it, he mentioned Crystal Palace, he will have an overlapping fullback. But it's just, again, I go back to, I rather just have Reece James fit and playing and on the pitch, even if it's out of position, just to take care of him, than not have him at all. Because let's also not stop pretending that players over the course of their careers don't adapt their positions. Like, not every player stays in their position that they started at for the rest of their career. If this has happened back when Ronaldo was up and coming, some of you guys would probably be criticizing Alex Ferguson for taking Ronaldo from being a center mid to a winger. Oh, Ronaldo's best position was center mid. And you'd probably be criticizing, who was it, Mourinho, or was it
Zidane, really.
Zidane. Who converted him into a striker?
Zidane.
You'd probably be criticizing Zidane for converting Ronaldo from a right winger where he made his bread and butter to a striker. Like, let's stop pretending that players over the course of their career don't change their positions to better adapt for their either the style of play, for the league they're in, or for just their age, or their injuries to stay fit. Like, come on now.
It's like, it's weird. Like,
and one more thing I will mention.
What you were saying about, sorry.
One more thing I will mention. Sorry, Prime. Is one thing I like about Reece being in center mid, not that he can't do it from fullback position, but one thing I do like is that DM position from time to time we've seen Caicedo do it. We'll have an opportunity to take a shot from outside the box. Bro, Reece James, when it comes to taking shots outside the box, even today, ended up creating a goal out of it for Tariq George. He is that guy. He's got a rocket that I wish we could take advantage of more often than not, because he's just that good of a player. And I think from center mid, you get more opportunities to shoot outside the box than almost any other opportunity or any other position.
What was annoying, that it's annoying Reece wasn't fit in the first, in the start of the season, because the positions that Gusto was playing in as that false 10, if that was, the amount of shooting opportunities Gusto had, if that was Reece, bro. Again, people just love to complain. I could see times next season, again, assuming all Lavia's fit, I can see times next season where it's Lavia, Enzo in midfield, Caicedo plays right back and inverts, and you have Reece at left back. We have people complain, but if we had Pep as our manager, Pep would be doing even worse bullshit. Pep would. You think Pep wouldn't try and play Reece in midfield? Or Gusto at right wing 100%. Or something. Pep would be doing worse bullshit.
Pep is notorious for playing players out of position.
Yeah, but people would accept it because it's Pep, but I don't know. People just love to complain, and people will say, "Well, Poch did it, and you complain." But I said last season that I don't even mind playing players out of position per se, but use the right attributes for said players. Chilwell at left wing doesn't work because he doesn't have legs. The Sassy at right back doesn't work because he doesn't have legs. But you know what would work? Reece at times playing in midfield. If you need
the Sassy got adopted, by the way.
I don't want Reece. I don't want Reece to be our starting main player in midfield at all. But
and he isn't.
Squad is there, and we need. Yeah, that's my point. He isn't. Yeah. If we need him, and we shouldn't need him next season because the midfield situation should be fixed in a real world. But if we need him, then fine.
Yeah, I think also Prime. It's realistically one of those situations where I think as the idea of play evolves and the system evolves, we're going to see games where it's not just one Cucurella inverting all game, right? It might be Cucurella inverts this certain section of the game, and then Reece takes up at that position, and Cucurella just plays as in the back three.
That changes up the tactic a lot too.
That's what I'm saying. They're more versatile with that, and so Cucurella obviously already knows how to do that to a very high level. He's now trying to get Reece to understand that through these games and build them up. So,
I agree.
Yep.
All right, guys. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else we have to touch on.
But one last thing. Prime, here you go. I'll send Prime. Hold up. Ready? Prime, you looking?
What? Awesome. I'll
send it to you. I will send it to you.
Both.
I will.
Both.
I love this, bro. The best part is this would not be possible if your camera was high quality. The fact that your camera is low quality is what allows beautiful edits to be made. Boom, because it doesn't look out of place. It legitimately looks like it could be this big. Nah, man. Shout out Prime, bro.
Bro, that's too funny.
10 out of 10,
man.
bro. Yeah.
Goated. But unless we have anything else to touch on for this game, we'll close it out. You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
I'm excited to see what an Enzo and Caicedo midfield looks like for the first time in a long time where they have rest. 1 week.
I know, right? I'm glad you mentioned that because I was going to bring it up and I forgot. We didn't need to bring on Enzo. We didn't need to bring on Caicedo. We didn't need to bring on Jackson. Players got to Neto got to rest. Players got legitimate rest.
Also,
today.
Crazy. Neto, again, knock on wood, right? He's about to go an entire season, no injury.
Yo, that's actually so true. Wow.
I said knock on wood. But bro, legitimately, I'm telling you, like, it's one of those things where Reese has also gone 17 games.
Wasn't he hurt a little bit in the beginning of the season, though?
No, he wasn't hurt. He just wasn't. It was just the fact that
he wasn't fit yet. Yeah, that's true.
He had just come back from
like
injury.
a pre-season or something. He wasn't really fit.
Bro, this new medical, we were making, some people were laughing at the fact that we sacked the old medical team. I don't know. This new medical team kind of cooking. I can't lie.
Yeah. Listen, you got to get, this is what I mean. Like, you got to give credit where credit is due. S, if you're watching, whatever that guy's name before was that I was shaming, don't even remember. You got to give credit where credit is due. The ownership, they said, bro, we're done with this Brad Pitt medical team. Let's actually get a proper medical team. And remember, because it was like they got the Hollywood medical team or some shit for these actors. That was the rumor. Remember in that first season where our medical team, we dumped our medical team, and then the rumor was that they hired these guys who do medical for Hollywood actors and stuff like that. And then we had the whole Potter season and Potch season. Listen, they fixed up over the summer. Now we have barring Lavia, like maybe if you had the same medical team as last season with a Pochettino, maybe you still have Lavia out for the whole season. Barring Lavia, we did get to see Fofana fit, and then Fofana, which we'll talk about that on the next fucking Casually Chelsea show. Fofana going against medical orders, got hurt. Now you're making Enzo Maresca look like a liar.
Medical orders.
He did.
Okay.
So listen, Maresca was right when he said you were out for the season. You just didn't want to listen. You said Maresca was a liar, and now you look like a fucking clown. So now, I honestly, sell him. In the summer, sell him now. Good point.
I am not a clown.
That's what he said to
Can't believe he actually said that, man. Crazy.
I can't believe he said that either. But this season, when it comes to the medicals, these players have stayed fit. Even Enzo Fernandez, to an extent, like stayed fit for most of it. He missed like 2-3 games with injury, versus last year where he was playing with a hernia.
And the people who have been fit. I was about to say the people who have been a lot for Fofana's been going through bad injury spells since he's been at Chelsea. They told him to get the surgery in the summer. He refused. Now they forced him to get the surgery. Same thing happened with Reese. New medical team came in. They said, please, Reese, get the surgery. Boom, he got the surgery. Again, this new medical team, it seems like they know what they're talking about. Their timelines for when to get players back, how to rehabilitate them. Exactly. So again, I just wanted to mention that. Like, I really think it's crazy that we're about to go a whole, because that was one of the biggest. You remember that one of the biggest concerns when we signed Neto. How long is he gonna stay fit?
Yeah,
never been an issue, bro.
It hasn't been.
Listen,
Neto, going back to S and all these other people that we're talking smack about Maresca. Listen, one of the things that you can say Maresca has improved out of these players is staying available. Like that is a trait that also managers have to manage minutes. And one thing he's done well is manage the minutes of injury-prone players in Reese and in Neto, and that is getting the better out of them, in my opinion. Go ahead, Prime. You were going to say something.
Neto, I think next season, pre-pause. I think he's gonna like explode.
Back to you said pre-pause is crazy. I think so too. I think this season he's been adapting, kind of like, finding his feet in this Chelsea squad. I don't think he's been bad, and I don't think like I want to get rid of him like some people have been saying. I think he's just been unfortunate because we also don't really have. It's been unfortunate because I'm sorry, I just saw Saeed's thumbnail.
Well, yeah, yeah, with speed.
Wait, the thumbnail was on Onana.
Yeah, with speed.
It's Onana, but Speed's face, bro.
I think I have that saved. Hold up.
That's insane, bro.
Bro, did you see what?
I'm looking for someone to raid, and I saw.
You guys hear what Rand said?
This one. Yo,
that's crazy.
Yeah, I did see what Rand said.
What Rand said about
that man said, he said I'm not defending. Yeah, he's like I ain't got to defend every black person, bro.
Yeah, if I clicked that up, man, Sanchez, I dare you to have a back.
What do you mean dare you? I dare you to have a good game, Sanchez. I dare you to have a good one.
I dare him to have a great game.
I dare you, bro.
Oh my god. Yeah, but anything else before we head out, guys?
That was my last comment, just the injury stuff.
That was a good thing to point out.
We are fourth. Yes, we just had a bad first half, but we had a comfortable second half.
Yes.
Scored goals against a team that we should be battering, quote unquote. And Chelsea fans are still crying as if we're in a crisis. So,
Of course
I mean, bro, we fell from second to third and they were crying.
I didn't get to ask both of you guys because you joined a little late. I'll start with Prime. Prime, does this performance give you confidence that we're kind of going? Let's also put Brentford into it and Tottenham. Although Brentford we didn't win, I think there was a good performance there. It's been a massive improvement since before the international break, in my opinion. I don't know if you share the same opinion, but do you think that this performance today kind of gives you a little bit more confidence that, okay, maybe Chelsea are coming back to form and to type that they were in the beginning of the season?
This game. Yeah, sorry, you go, Arisa.
For me, this game a bit yes, just because it seems like we got signs of life from our wingers, which I think has been massive. Because I think our midfield has been carrying our defense. Another clean sheet, by the way. I think that that's very important.
6 out of the last 8, yeah, clean sheets.
Yeah, so I think that's important for our defense. Again, defenders also build up momentum. The midfield again has been very, very good through this bad patch, and now we're looking at the wingers showing signs of life, right? And now we're just kind of waiting. Hopefully, Jackson and Palmer against Ipswich Town, they show up. I feel like hopefully they're able to take the wingers are able to take this form into the Ipswich game, and we're able to see them give a ton of service to Jackson and Palmer. Give them goal scoring chances, and through that maybe they rediscover their form. I'm more hopeful than I've been in a while. I'll say that much.
Prime, do you share the same sentiment?
Yeah. Going into this game, I thought that I said we'd win 1-0 or 2-1. That it would be comfortable in terms of us keeping possession, but with Nkunku up top and being a heavy rotated, I didn't know how much quality that we would have. And the first half pretty much went how I expected it to be fair. But in the second half, I don't know what Maresca said, but these players seem to really kick into gear. Tariq George played very well. Madueke came on, had a great impact. Sancho again was really kicked into gear as well. So I think having that aspect of hopefully now we can do what we were doing in the first half of the season, where if we would have a bad first half, that Maresca would tweak something or say something, and then we would have a straight impact within the first 10 minutes of the second half, and carry that on until the end of the game. And also, again, I've been saying with Madueke and Palmer and Jackson having more goal scorers in the team, that will help us. Even though we have Sanchez in goal, which I'm still worried he could cost us top 4. In terms of our actual defense,
dude,
it's pretty much solid. We're still.
Marshall, I'm telling you, man, we have Sanchez in goal, and we're on the same amount of goals conceded as Forrest. If we literally had a better keeper than Sanchez, this season would have.
I agree 100%. I agree. And that's with a Levi Colwell who hasn't been at a scintillating best, really. This is the first season we've seen Levi Colwell play center back for Chelsea. So I'm not going to be lambast him too much. But if we get a better center back, he could be easily replaced. And this is with Fofana only being available for half of the season, really.
I've been telling people that as much as I don't like our center backs and stuff, our defense is not actually bad. The worst thing about it is
Maresca's been working miracles.
Yeah, it's not even miracles. Maresca just has a very good structure.
Yes, that's it. It's structure. Yeah. Our fullbacks are really, really top quality. We have some of the best fullback depth, I would say, in the league. Not a lot of people have a Reese, Gusto, Achimpong, Cucurella lineup in terms of fullbacks. That's really good. And our center backs, and the reason why I think the perception is that we have been very poor defensively is because a lot of the goals that we concede end up being self-inflicted wounds. And so that weighs on your mind a lot more heavy than if the other team is playing through you really well.
Yeah, facts. Because we make a lot of Sanchez, but we make as a team, we make a lot of mistakes where we're giving the ball back to the opposition, and continuously inviting pressure on us.
Exactly.
And also, the past few months we've been going through, where we haven't been scoring goals, keeps inviting pressure on, keeps inviting the opposition onto us, which then, you know, with the mistakes we make, the dam eventually is going to burst, and then we concede, and then we go 1-0 down. Then all of a sudden, it looks like a terrible game. When in reality, if we had scored first, then we were not inviting that pressure on. So we get these goals back in our team. Beat Ipswich. I think that's going to be massive. Next week or next midweek, we're not going to have to. We can rotate even more. Don't play Reese, etc. Play some of the academy guys, because that game should be a whatever. It's going to be at home. Who cares? And then we play Leicester.
Fulham.
No,
and then Everton.
Fulham. So that's going to be a derby. But so if we can beat Ipswich and then beat Fulham, hopefully that will mean we've started a run. Because remember, earlier in the season, the beginning of our run, we weren't like necessarily playing smoothly. It was a lot of like bad one half, great second half.
Yeah.
But it wasn't until we picked up like I think it was like 6, 7, 8 games on the bounce when we were really picking. It looked like we were picking up a run now, and then we started playing even better and looking like we could beat anyone. So I think that's what we need now, especially with our last few games where we played Newcastle, we play Liverpool, we still have to play Man United. Go on this run, beat Ipswich, beat Fulham, go play Everton and beat them. Get this run, because when we have to play Newcastle, and if we don't win, or if we don't beat Liverpool, hopefully we have a bit of a cushion where the dropped points then won't matter as much, and we can still get top 4. And Sanchez, don't fuck this up for us, please.
Yeah, no, that's very true. I agree with that. Listen, despite all the defending, quote unquote, of Sanchez I still admit he's a bad keeper, and he will cost us points. I mean, he already has this season multiple times. But in terms of, this is what I was saying yesterday, right? Yesterday on my stream, I literally had, actually, you know what? I'll just share it because I have it. Like, and me and RSM, we went through this list before, and I'm sure you don't have revisionist memory, Prime, because I think you'll also remember that we weren't necessarily in the best form last season when we ended up winning, going into that 6-game win streak. So I ended up showing this on the Chelsea Hour show yesterday, and people thought I was huffing on hopium, which to an extent, yeah, I'm high on hopium. I get it. But at the same time, when you put context into it, before this game, it was the Man City 1-1, right? Then we lost to Liverpool the way we lost with the kids in extra time. You guys remember Leeds in the FA Cup? How, Ahmed, you were at that game. Leeds in the FA Cup with Poch last season. We looked like we weren't going to win it, and then we managed to scrap a win. Like, do you guys remember that game? Like, we didn't look good.
Yeah.
Right? I think. And I'm glad you guys are here to back me, because
I was at a bar. I was at a bar with Leeds fans, bro. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think for me,
real quick though, Ahmed, before you continue, because I just want to point out my context here, right? Then Brentford 2-2. We weren't happy with that performance. Newcastle, we won, and it was actually like, okay, maybe we got something here. We go against Leicester, bro. It was the saucy bozo moment. They get back into the game, they tie it, and then Pochettino puts on Carney, puts on Madueke, and then we make a comeback. But Maresca came back from being 2-0 or 2-2 because of that own goal, right? Then Burnley, 10-man Burnley, right? United, we were shit that game. Cole Palmer, moment of brilliance, last minute hat trick, wins us that game. We were losing it around the 80th minute, right? So we got lucky. It wasn't a good performance. We all can admit that.
Was it Garnacho 2-piece, bro?
Yep. Right, so it wasn't a good performance. Real quick, Ahmed, I'm almost done. Sheffield United, again, bottom of the league team, 2-2. We were in shit form. Then Everton, we had a convincing win. And we were like, okay, shit, they might turn it around. What happens?
Palmer scored a natty hat trick.
Yeah. What happens the next game? Man City. And then again, we're thinking, and then the follow-up game.
Everton game where Jackson scored that wonder goal.
I don't think so.
Jackson.
Yeah.
You're talking about Palmer though? Palmer got the hat trick in this game.
Or
4 goals. I don't remember which one.
Jackson.
Jackson did not.
But my point being is that looking at the games and the performances, like
Oh, I understand. But the one where he did like it was like almost like a 180 motion and he hit it. Yeah,
I think that was the game.
That was
Yeah,
everything. That was everything game. That was everything game.
So, like, my point being is that, like, some of these performances going towards the tail end of the season weren't good. And we weren't convinced with some of the victories we were getting. We were still in 9th place. We were still in 10th, like, rotating within. After the Man City loss in the FA Cup, where we got knocked out, we then lost to Arsenal 5-0. Drew to Villa 2-2. At no point after that Villa game did I think Chelsea were going to play for anything. I thought the players were checked out. I thought the players were done. And then what happens? They say they probably saw a run for a European spot and said, fuck it. Let's actually try. Let's actually get the mentality. Let's get our head together and actually get this done. And they win 5 games in a row and get us into a European spot. Unfortunately, Man City showed up drunk to the final.
What helped us massively, though, also was players coming back fit. Particularly,
big up Omar, by the way.
Particularly, Reece.
Big up Omar, big up. Thank you for the raid, brother.
Yeah, big up Omar, raid. What helped us massively was also players coming back from injury. Like, Reece came off the bench from that Forest game, if people don't remember.
Kind of what's happening now.
And we don't win that game if not for that cross from Reece, because we weren't getting crosses like that all season.
Yeah.
Go
I think for me, if you just remove the stream elements temporarily, Marshall, look at the last 4 games that we won: West Ham, Forest, Brighton, and Bournemouth. None of these teams had any dog in their game, bro. They had nothing worth fighting for. I think for me, the context of who we are facing in the remaining leg after basically Everton, I'm gonna say Everton because it's gonna be Ipswich and Everton, because I think Fulham have something worth fighting for. The Ipswich and Everton don't. But there's a lot of team tweeters that don't have anything worth fighting for. The rest of them, in my opinion, all are all fighting for something, bro.
All we can hope for is Liverpool's on the beach. That's the only thing we can hope for, bro. With Liverpool game, that's it.
You're right, Ahmed. They do have things fighting for, but like, so do we. And we've also seen now over the course of the season.
I agree with that. We had something. I'm talking about just the context of like last season in terms of who we were fighting for at the time.
I know what you're saying, but I also get the point Marshall's saying, where it looked like last season that we couldn't do it, and like we're a Burnley or Sheffield United result away from getting Champions League football last year.
I think part of it
was very close. So like we can still do it. We can still do it this year.
The problem for me is that yes, we can do it, but I think I think the thing that's been helping us a lot more, similar to last season, which was one of the big benefits of last season as well, and this season, is that I think the teams around us weren't as consistent. But I think the difference, for this season compared to last season, I would actually argue is it's just that I think our running towards the end is probably a lot more harder than it was the season before. That's what I think.
That's not the point I'm getting at.
And that's where I'm going from my point of view. No, not your point of view. This is just me speaking myself. I get your point of view.
I agree, but the teams we're facing, like, yes, we're facing tougher teams, but Newcastle have been like just as inconsistent, if not worse, than us. Man United, it's going to be a difficult game because it's still Man United, but they're in the pits. Like, for once, just take advantage and try and beat Man United.
I think they're better now than they were under the Ten Hag little era.
True, they are better now, but like, I mean, who knows what happens with Leon? But they should probably be in a semi-final of the Conference League or Europa League, and maybe that affects them. Plus, they have Onana. I know we have Sanchez, but they also have Onana. Let's just do something. And Liverpool, we know what title-winning teams are like once they've secured the title. They tend to be on the beach, and we can take advantage of that maybe. And we're not playing them at Anfield; it's at the Bridge.
I've always said is that I would always be a lot more confident in ourselves, right? That's what I always try to not look necessarily at the guys around us and more so ourselves. And right now, my problem right now is that it's not. I don't even think it's like a defensive issue as of right now.
No,
it's who's scoring for us, bro. That's the problem that we've got right now. Who's scoring for us? And the thing is, I'm hoping this game kickstarts like one of the wingers to start scoring, and that helps out the rest of the team. But our problem right now, genuinely, is scoring, bro. That's what
I said this last stream, and I said this yesterday. when I look at the performance against Tottenham, when I look at the performance against Brentford, we were knocking on the door for both games. At one point, either we're just not going to score goals or the levee is going to break. And today could be a sign of the levee about to break. Obviously, I'm taking into account the opposition, right? But you also take into account how we struggled against Copenhagen, who is a better side, but also less quality, right? How we struggled previously against lesser teams as well, Ipswich, so on and so forth, right? What I'm seeing right now is potentially the players now getting their shit together, very similarly to last season where, oh shit, we have a shot to get into Europe. Let's actually get our shit together after the Aston Villa draw. Let's actually get our shit together and go for it. And they went for it. And I'm telling you right now, when this team is playing at their best, I think this team at their best can beat a Newcastle. This team at their best can beat a Nottingham Forest. We were close. We were knocking on the door against Nottingham Forest earlier in the season where we were better. This team at their best could give Liverpool a run for their money. It could still be a loss.
I mean,
you never know.
We did give them a run for their money, and we only lost because of Salah brilliance.
Salah brilliance, a little bit of a Colwell idiocy, a little bit of Sanchez. There's a bit of everything there. Yeah. But it's like if this team decides to get their head out of their ass and actually step up and play at their best for the last season, and we do start seeing their best, bro, I know it's hopium, guys. I know it's hopium. People were hating on me for saying this yesterday, but I know it's hopium. But I have seen an improved side since the international break. And if it keeps going in the direction it's going, we're scoring. We just scored 3 goals. It's the first time we scored more than that many goals in how long now, right? If this momentum keeps up and we're going in this direction, bro, I think we can do it. I think we can do it. It's going to be difficult.
Like the Copenhagen games, the reason why, again, because we were having an argument and stuff about West Scott and stuff, the reason why I wasn't angry about the Copenhagen games is because I liked how we could actually control the games. Fine, we didn't have the quality to have the goals, but again, like we know what was going on. We didn't have any goal scorers, but now with the goal scorers coming back, we can still control. Like again, fine. Liverpool will be difficult. Newcastle, if they turn up, will be difficult. Man United is still Man United, but if we do what we have to do in the other games, beat Ipswich, beat Fulham, beat Everton. If we do what we have to do in those games, then against a Liverpool or a Newcastle, if we lose, it might not affect us as much. All I'm saying is like, do what we have to do. Because right now, we're even with the bullshit, we're still 4th, bro. So like, just do what we have to do, and then whatever happens, happens. But there's enough there to get top 4, bro. There is enough there. This league is not good. This league is really not good. There's enough.
That's a different debate. I'd be ready to have at the end of the season. I think we're gonna have some topics to discuss at the end of the season, but for sure, you're right. This is on the players now. Like, if you guys really want it, step the fuck up, get the results, and it's in your hands. We're in control. As long as we win our games, we stay in top 4, right? We even have Villa and Newcastle at one point, or is it Villa and who else? Someone in Villa are playing soon.
We play Newcastle.
One of those two, they're either going to drop points or one of them is going to step out of the competition for top 5. Because someone's going to win or draw in that game. Someone's going to drop points. Whether it be both of them or one of them. And that's less competition for us.
Players. We're talking about leadership in this team. Reece, Caicedo, Enzo. It's on you guys. You're the leaders in this team. You're the only leaders in this team. It's on you guys now. We need.
You got 7 days rest, man.
Actually, I'll add into that.
Villa play United.
I'm gonna need you guys to start stepping up and show these guys what we really have to do to get over this line.
100%.
It's important now. So
I agree. But all right. That being said, Omar, thank you so much for the raid. Be sure to smash up the like button, people who came on the raid. Also, subscribe if you're new here. If you aren't familiar with Casually FC, we talk about Chelsea. We talk about football. We talk about Chelsea news. We review the games. We give you guys a lot of content on here. So if you're a fan, come on by, join the community, help me get to 5K subscribers, and smash up the like so that it helps the algorithm spread the word of Casually FC out there to a bunch of people. Now, we're going to raid out to Saeed TV, obviously talk about Onana bozo moments today. That was crazy that I witnessed that after Onana talked shit on Leon. Yo, Onana, you can respectfully hold that.
Like my
Hold that.
Listen, you guys know how I feel about middle name, but at least the guy never opens his mouth to speak, bro. Because
that's so true.
If middle name had said that, and then
that's head loss. That's head loss for me.
Peter
I can't lie.
Clanger,
By the way, I'll
bro,
say, you know how much I despise Sanchez.
Bro, I'd have a case by now, bro. Because
Yo, I can't lie. You know I despise Sanchez.
That's true.
Onana in Europe is worse than Sanchez.
That's actually crazy.
Don't
you
say that.
really don't like Onana.
Because then you're gonna jinx it. Sanchez will stay and be our number one next year in the Champions League.
I hope not. I hope not. Listen, I hope it's exactly what I said. I hope what I retweeted earlier is a way to scam people into buying Sanchez. Because I do not want to talk about him next season.
What did you retweet?
I retweeted this the list. Like go on my Twitter, you'll see it. It was like a list of best goalkeepers according to something, and Sanchez was on that. I was like, "Yo, that's crazy that people are actually rating Sanchez, bro. Keep it up, sell him, please, please,
Arsenal,
scam him."
Arsenal, you need a number 2 next year. Hey,
oh
save
my
a hole,
god,
man. Captain, save a hole, man. You say, hey, Arteta, save one more, man. Save one more.
Save one more. But yeah, ladies and gents, also be sure to like, subscribe. Like I said, if you're watching in the future, leave a comment. Let us know your thoughts down below. Check out the description because you'll see RSM's channel there, the Bridge Nation 258, or actually just the Bridge Nation now. And Prime is also on there with his Twitter and his TikTok. You'll find my link tree for my music and all that fun stuff. If you're in the US, actually, I'll say this, a lot of shows coming up. If you happen to be in the East Coast and stuff, I'm going to be making a little mini tri-state tour. We got a lot of shows coming up. So if you want to come out and see me and support the band, stay tuned to the Instagram. I'll be posting all that very soon. I've been very busy with the band stuff as well. So check that out. The music is in the link tree below. And last but not least, guys, check out memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. You guys can show great support to the channel and help us out tremendously by checking out the memberships. And if you are a proper casual member and higher, you get shout outs at the end of every show, and that's going to go out to Daniel, TM127, EE, Dark, Adrian, A. Soliman, and yeah, that's it. And I'm gonna also give shout outs to new members that joined offline. We usually shout them out when they join on the stream, and that's gonna go out to TT Mufazu. Thank you for the resubscription, and David A. Weir or E. Weir. Thank you so much for the subscription as well. Joined at the casual level. Like I said, guys, only 99p to join at the first tier. Helps us out tremendously. We're gonna raid out to Saeed TV. You guys already know what to do. Go ahead.
So your band can go on tour, but Casually can't go on tour. Crazy.
I mean, listen, when this platform gets big enough, things will happen.
I mean, the United Stand just did a live show in
I am not the United Stand. What are we doing, bro?
You're the biggest.
I don't have Mark Goldbridge money.
You're the biggest Chelsea fan channel, bro. What's your excuse?
I wish. That title I think goes to Carefree Lewis or Matisse or either or.
Yeah.
But
or the
speaking of that tier or whatever we want to call it, we'll end it on this one. All right, we'll end it on this. But big up every single one of you. I appreciate you guys being here. Have a wonderful night, and as always, stay casual.
Guys, I can't zoom in any further, otherwise these fucking ads will start blocking it. Oh yeah, shit, yo, Shane, bless for that, man. It's the guy that took the picture of me, me with England game. Big up, big up. So who's next?
Deactivate.
Ahmed, right? I'm gonna be honest. He is I actually like his channel. He's a good channel for like Chelsea transfer news and transfer sources. However, his opinions on players and managers is very, very agenda driven. He hates Tuchel. People talk about like me. People talk about like me and what I say about Reece James. He still cusses.
Oh shit!
He's just lagged out, isn't he?
I have
hilarious.
Oh, sorry. The guy still doesn't rate Cucurella. Okay, yeah. The guy still doesn't rate Cucurella.
What was the one before that?
What?
What you said before that? Because that's when you lagged.
You
said Tuchel and then lagged.
Oh, Tuchel. You know how like I've crashed on Reece in the past because I want him to get Sergio or whatever. I haven't slandered him this season. He still crashes on Reece, even though he's fit and playing. Ahmed said in the summer that he wants to sell Reece and bring in Dallo. He rates Dallo highly. He doesn't rate Cucurella. So like Ahmed's my bro, but I think he should be an agenda driven.
It's one of the bottom two.
Agendas. He has a lot of agendas.
I can't believe
by the way, but by the way, he has a great channel. Again, he has a brilliant channel. Brilliant for Chelsea news, but he is heavily agenda driven, if I'm going to be honest.
Doesn't defend Ahmed. Peace. Stay casual.